All right, well, we're recording. Let's live stream to YouTube. Guess we can go early. Choose an account. Continue to Zoom. Did that work? What the heck happened? I don't think that worked. What is happening? I'm choosing an account. Got it. Oh, okay. Set edit, manage YouTube account. Wow. Request has instructed additional scope. Public. Custom join recruit my dog. Come on. All right. It's trying to load it, looks like. Maybe I'm supposed to do this. Oops. Screw it. No, we're gonna join. Join a meeting. Meeting ID. What is this meeting ID? I've got this archaic computer that I'm working with. Meeting ID. All right, now it looks like I'm in here twice, which is fine. I think I'm echoing. Let me mute myself. Okay. Nope. There we go. Or record onto this computer. No, I don't need to record. What's happening here? Go live. See, I really should have tried to figure this out. Oh, I gotta turn down this computer volume. So what I was saying in the beginning is, if I went live to test this out, then everybody probably would have got confused. You know, earlier to test it out.
Yeah.
What is literally happening here? This is not working. But
What are you struggling with? YouTube?
Yeah, so I've got the Zoom meeting recording, and then I go to live with YouTube. You are allowed. And it's not wanting to live. And so I'm trying to use the computer, my laptop, and my phone, because everything's working through my phone right now. And I'm trying to see what the heck is happening. Okay, so what it looks like is I'm on with my computer. Disable video. No. See, my laptop has a really crappy video camera, so I don't do any of my Zooms with this laptop. But my phone has a good one, and so I was trying to get this going with my phone. Ah, geez. Oh, hold up. I think maybe now we're on. Okay, it's preparing to live stream the meeting to YouTube.
Yeah, I see it popped up.
Really?
Yeah, me too.
Huh.
Vacation.
All right. So let's go back to this Zoom. Theodore is now in the meeting as well. So everybody, if you scroll one way to the other way, you should be able to see them. Hey, Theodore.
Hey.
So we are now live streaming to YouTube, I believe. I believe that's what is happening. So everybody out there in the world of YouTube, how you doing? We are live streaming. We've got a good amount of people in here, and basically it's not going to be an interview session like normal. This will be just a free-for-all to talk to anybody and everybody about the hobby and what we're doing, and to kind of have like a Christmas spectacular end of the year blowout live stream. So that's what we're doing.
And I didn't bring my Santa hat.
I just did the lights today. And then back here, I got a Merry Christmas, right? Where's my finger? Right there where my finger is. It's Merry Christmas, but I turned the lights off so you can't even see it. And then I'm sitting right in front of it, so whatever. So just to let everybody know, whenever you see the green outline circle or outline square over your name, that's that camera's gonna be focused on. So anybody and everybody can talk. Just if you're gonna try to show something, try not to talk. So when you're showing and talking to us about it, that the camera will be able to see what you're trying to show. But anyways, how's everybody doing?
Is 2020 over yet?
Ooh, that's a good question. It's a really good question. We're close.
It's getting there. Yeah, it's getting there day by day.
Anybody working on anything special? I see Tom right there working away.
I'm working on your favorite type of model, commercial.
Oh,
Really
I
good.
love commercial. That is my favorite. How'd you know?
I'm working on ambulances, tanks, resin kits, and some air support in 187.
Ooh,
That's
show those air support things.
yeah. I'll be right back. Hold on.
I got a random package in the mail 3 weeks ago from a buddy of mine in the Ellen Historical Society. Sent me an AH Apache gunship, which that's a helicopter, and then an A-10 war. So that's my next step after I finish this M1000 trailer and 1070.
Is this the kit?
Yeah, yep, that's
For
it.
anybody out there, that's the kit.
It is not an easy kit.
I saw somebody else building it on Arsenal M or whatever the page is. Kit Reviews 187. Are you on that?
Yeah,
You might
'cause-
not be on it.
yeah, Arsenal got all the Roco stuff, well, all the mini tank stuff. But I mean, the issue I have with that kit is it's just the body doesn't want to line up right. So I've got a lot of putty work I've got to do to it, and then on top of that, the directions are just lacking.
Gotcha.
But that's most German kits.
We got another person coming in, Greg Dixon. He's on his way in. Let's see. Greg, where you at, Greg? Maybe he's coming in. I don't see him yet. Oh, there he is. Greg, your audio's connecting. Don't worry. We'll hear you in a minute. So, just to let everybody know, there is a live chat. I believe people should be able to chat questions into this if anybody's watching. I don't know. I can't see how you guys figured out that we have the live YouTube up. I don't know.
I've
where
got the
my
YouTube
live-
app on my phone, and it notifies me if I'm subscribed to someone. that-
Maybe I'm not subscribed to myself.
I was
don't
just,
know.
I was just hanging around on your channel and it came up.
Well, see, my channel's being dumb. I don't know. It could literally just be that I've got too much going on here. I don't know. I mean, I've got a pretty crappy computer.
Is it that pink or purple one or whatever color it was?
It is that purple one, yes. It's an Intel HP, but it's like, I didn't buy it. I got it for free, and it's not good.
Well, reason why it's free.
Right.
It's stylish.
Yeah, it was supposed to be my daughter's, and then she didn't use it because, I mean, you got a cell phone, so why does a, 13-year-old need a computer if you got a cell phone?
Mini
So
computer.
I took it over. Yeah. Well, I try to tell my my mother-in-law about how her iPhone is a mini computer and it's too advanced for her. So, who knows? I don't know. Anyway, so not that I can get my computer to work. I'd like to see if there's anybody watching this. I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe it's because Zoom's on here and I'm just stressing this computer out. So, Joseph, I think you were showing us or showing me something that that might be interesting to everybody else to see. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll show. Let's see if I can turn my camera around. So far, I got some resin kit or resin cars I've been printing. 80s cars, and they are a 2-part kit. I got the interiors here. So I'm working on the glass. I'm going to try to do a different method than the tape method, but I got some Hondas and Toyotas there that nobody offers. I also been working on my module. here for the show if it ever happens again.
And that is awesome.
All custom made buildings by me. And they're all lit and people inside mostly. I tried to do as detailed as I could. Let's see which one will show up the best. Yeah, so I try to do a fully detailed interior on all of them. Anyhow, so I just set up like a mini little car show here with all the fancy cars, I guess. And Sam, here's a movie car setup.
Love it.
And then a couple that you have got from you.
Was that pickup an LM1 Lamborghini?
Yes.
I love that thing. The only Lamborghini pickup truck they ever made.
Yeah, pretty cool. Then I got some donks here.
That's what I'm talking about.
And then I do have, I don't know where I got it from, but the Route 187 van. But this van here is actually my very first kit bash I ever did back, I don't know, about 15 years ago. Started out as a panel van or whatever, and I cut some windows out for a high top van. And then added a high top to it. And did the best paint job I could do 15 years ago. But that's it for me. Oh, I got some more other little module of modern houses or condos that I actually 3D print and make by scratch as well. But that's about it. Project wise, I keep on put these little cars off to the side and working on buildings and doing this, and I've been working on everything, never finishing anything, of course, like everybody else. But that's what's going on here.
That's cool, man. I love all that stuff. Hey, just a question. Anybody that's got that YouTube channel up, can you see if it's actually showing what we're doing? Because I finally figured out where mine is, and it says we're offline.
Mine's going, but it's about a minute delayed.
Okay. Well, at least something's working. So
Let me see if I
good.
have audio.
I think they do a delay on purpose, don't they?
They do. I was talking to them before you popped on, Joseph, that I watched like 5 videos, 4 videos to figure out how to get a Zoom to stream, and then a full video to give me the whole logistics on all the settings and stuff. And I didn't want to test it to see if it was going to work before 8 o'clock, because then I would have had a whole bunch of test videos that pop up and people would have got their notifications, and yeah, I didn't want to test it. But I don't know. Mine's not playing on my end, but as long as you guys see it playing on your end, then I guess it's working.
I'm looking for it now.
But here's the crazy thing is I don't see if anybody, I don't know how to see if anybody's watching this. Nobody said anything. I'll say hi to everybody. I wish I was better at this. I don't know, but this is the first live stream. I think next season I'll be doing more live streams. I'll definitely be doing live streams at a show. So say the RPM meet pops back up in the middle of the summer and we're allowed to go and it's safe to go, then I'll do a live stream there at the show. and talk really loud to interrupt the whole entire show and make myself really obnoxious and annoying. I think that'd be great. But you know, just live streams in general, so maybe more people will want to watch it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. You have to do it and find out.
Right. So, Theodore, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
I see you got some drunk drivers on your layout.
Yeah, I think I was the one that was sipping. That's why the car was the wrong way.
Unless he was a stunt driver and he just knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I think I was sipping when I did that one. But it was cool to do it outside. You know, I was trying to get the natural light feel for it.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So you working on anything special?
Not in particular. I think the bus that I did everybody liked the most was the entertainer bus. You know, the one the rock stars do. I got it here. So I did this one. This is the most recent one I did, and it seemed like it got a lot of good feedback on it. So I never did anything like it before, so it was a good, you know, test my skills out a little bit.
That's cool, man. Hey, at least you're still doing it. I mean, even if it's slow, literally haven't built a 187 scale car since Joseph brought me over the Munsters coach. I've been stuck in this 125th scale world for longer than I thought I was going to be. But hey, at least we're still building in one way or another.
Well, I actually popped my cherry with Shapeway. I always hear everybody talk about Shapeway, but I never actually bought anything from Shapeway. So I bought a few buses from Shapeway since we did our last interview. So that was that last bus that everybody liked, the little cutaway, the Ford. I think that's a 350 or 450 shuttle bus.
Maybe
I got
that
that from 450.
Maybe, probably, okay. Just because of how big it is.
Isn't
Yeah.
550
you load that
extended chassis?
Yeah, I think it is a 450. I haven't got the decals for it yet, but that I got that from Shapeway, and I got a few other ones from Shapeway. Seemed like a new guy just got on there. He's making a whole bunch of buses on there. That
right. Yeah, you reminded me of you.
Yeah, I never went on there before because there was a lot of buses on there, but they wasn't really in my genre. They was more like city buses and stuff, and I do like highway coaches. But it seemed like in the last, I'll say about 3-4 months, somebody popped up and come up with a whole bunch of highway coaches. So I said, I got at least 5 or 6 of them. Yeah, I got another one here. You probably remember that picture. All Shapeway.
Yeah, they do. When you order the right stuff, they have some pretty cool stuff. You got to order the right stuff for it to be cool, though, because a lot of their stuff, even with their finest print, it's not all that great.
Yeah, the first buses I saw on Shapeway, I wasn't really impressed on the detail, and it pretty much looked like a brick.
Yeah.
You know, so I said, nah, I'll wait. But these new buses that came out, they're pretty detailed.
And then I also found out, I was talking to Matt about cars on Shapeway. He was telling me that as the designer and the person that offers that design to Shapeway to use, you have to enable the quality spec for it. Like if you don't say you want to offer the highest quality, and you just say you want standard quality, it'll just be set that, and you can never get a better print of that particular design. So you, the designer, have to tell them, I want the highest quality to be offered with this. So that's it's cool that you were able to get some pretty decent designs or, you know, quality off of that, because I know the very first time I ordered off of them, I just ordered the cheapest available just to test it out. It was like crap. You couldn't fix it to save your life. It was horrible.
Well, on these particular models, I think all of them are the high quality. I don't even think you have an option. I'm not proud of how much I spent on these buses.
Dude, the Ghostbusters car alone, each one of them with the shipping is like $45. So
I think I got you beat, man. I'm afraid. I'm sorry to say it, but I'm a bus nut, so that's what I do.
yeah, well, it's funny because when I was talking to him, I was like, hey, so these cost that much, and I've got this many people that have bought them. He goes, oh, you're the one who keeps buying them. I'm like, I'm the one who keeps buying them. I'm the only one that probably buys them from that place. But yeah, he was a pretty cool guy. But if you watch the video, he tells you so much stuff about, if you can hear him and understand him. He tells you all kinds of little background stuff about dealing with Shapeway and being a designer for 3D printing and whatnot. And if you know the right people that does 3D printing, it could be a lot cheaper. Hint, hint.
I think he's talking to you, London.
But yeah, right on. London, you're new. I haven't interviewed you before. What do you like to build, and what are you up to, and what do you do?
So I'm basically like Joseph, I guess. I model basically modern stuff. That's my era. I do vehicles, 3D printing, buildings, all kinds of stuff, anything and everything. That's HO 187.
That's cool. So I wish I could have interviewed you and you could have showed like a lot more stuff or whatever. But with that being said, you have anything cool to show us? If you want to show us?
Yeah, I was talking to Joseph a little bit about this one. This is a modern Ford dealership I've been building. So I have
cool.
I usually use Tinkercad and those kind of softwares to design buildings and that sort of thing. And I got another Dodge Ram Chrysler dealer I'm working on. And also, as far as vehicles go, I've been working on the 5th gen 4Runner. Got the body pretty well down now. I'm starting to do a frame and stuff for it. So yeah, for modern stuff, I've been doing that. Been building a lot of these recently. These are highway department vehicles. I do a lot of work with Bowley, Walther Scene Masters. What else? Oh, and I know you guys have been talking about these recently. This is one I designed and had on there is the Twister truck with the little Dorothy units I 3D printed.
Yeah, those are really cool.
It's a little Dodge.
And like I was saying in our little IM communicator, I think that you're literally the first and maybe the only person to create that movie vehicle.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's really neat.
Yeah, it's not the exact truck, but it's it's close enough where I like it.
I like the movie. I'm not in love with the movie, and I thought that was the truck. So
yeah,
and I'm a car guy, so I didn't even notice the difference until you had to tell me that it wasn't the right truck, and then I looked it up, and you were right. But if you didn't say nothing, and I think if you were to show that around, nobody would know the difference unless they were in love with that movie.
Yeah, I had like 3 or 4 guys that said, "Oh, that's an extended cabin. That's a year off or something like that." But
Yeah, I'm wrong. I didn't notice it. But who cares? I mean,
I don't care.
For the most part, it's the truck. It fits the look, and
yeah,
not an extended cab.
Yeah, but that post, I mean, I had some guys share it to like Twister groups and all kinds of stuff, and I think I had near just over 40,000 people like that post and view it. So it's pretty crazy.
I don't know that I've ever had that many people like anything I've ever, maybe combined, I've had
Yeah.
people like that much stuff.
Yeah, I'm lucky if I get 100 or something, but that for some reason that one just went skyrocketed. So
That's cool. I put my
Yeah.
my Marty McFly Back to the Future house on Back to the Future fan groups, and even there, I never got anywhere close to that many likes. So, dude, good job.
yeah, thanks.
That's pretty awesome. So that's cool. It looks like you guys something big in the background. Is that a train layout or just a module, or what is that back there?
This one,
Yeah.
it's actually kind of part of Joseph Blevins. I had him build me a Love's truck stop. And I have I built it on a diorama. And just got all my buildings and stuff on there, and vehicles and all kinds of stuff. I use it as a photo booth to take pictures of my trucks when I sell them, different things.
That's awesome. That's one major good reason to have a little tiny module layout like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I have quite a few of them laying around, but that's usually my main one.
Yeah. I mean, you see, I got 2 back here, and I take a lot of pictures on there, but I don't take all the pictures. I usually build stuff to be specific for those modules. And if it's not specific to those modules, I'll probably just put like a white background or something and do like a professional photo shoot of a car or whatnot. But yeah, it's great to put it in perspective of a building in that scale as well and whatnot.
Yeah, I did
neat, man.
I guess I could show you this one. This is one I made a YouTube video on. This is my trailer park. I have like a modern day where it's all, run down. I have I 3D printed the motorcycle and different little things on it. So it's pretty cool. It was a really fun build.
That's my favorite build of yours.
Yeah, I like it. It's cool. I was surprised it turned out that well. I mean, for what I just used the IMAX like ceramic trailers that they have. But yeah, I like it. Turned out nice.
I went to this train club that we had in the next city, and in their back room they had a whole bunch of just extra crap that they weren't putting on their layouts or they weren't using at the time they built it for specific reasons. And they had a corner piece to their module layout, and the tracks are sitting on the outside, and then on the inside is this pie cutout of a trailer park, and it was probably 2.5 feet by 1 foot or maybe 1.5 foot. It was pretty big. They had probably 10 trailers on there with the main road, and it was all decorated and ready to go, but it looked newer, like 50s style new. So if you were building a layout or something back in the 50s, it looked newer. And I really liked it. I didn't know what the heck I was going to do with it, but I really liked it. And I asked them what they were going to do with it. And they said that we're going to have this huge like train sale at the end of the month. And then I completely forgot about it. And the guy posted it. He bought it for like $50. I was like, holy crap. Like 2 trailers and the scenery would be like $50. But they got like 10 or 15 trailers on there, plus all the cars and all the scenery. Look, it was ready to go.
Yeah.
I thought, how neat is that? I mean, it was a neat piece. So seeing that you built that one, that's pretty cool. It has that more modern look of a
that's what I like.
park.
I don't see that modeled too often, so that would be cool.
Yeah, and especially people that build them, they'll usually have like 1 on their layout or 2 at the most, and it may not even be run down. It could just be, period correct or whatnot, and it looks neat, but it's not that cool. I think yours is cooler. Just because it's modern and run down,
Thanks. Yeah.
So how long you been into this hobby? Because I don't really know nothing about you.
Yeah. So I guess the short version is I I kind of got into the hobby on accident. Actually, when I moved up to Michigan, I just happened to walk into a model train club, and from there on, I got addicted to it. Really, I just they actually just had a major flood that flooded the whole building, so I was there to help rebuild it, and there wasn't a whole lot of 187th guys there. They were mostly into like G gauge and logging and that kind of stuff. So I got to rebuild that, and that kind of got me into it. So that was about 6 years ago, I want to say. So 5 years, 6 years I've been into it.
That's cool. That's really neat. And it's even more neater for the simple fact that you're young.
Yeah.
Like Radisson, like Tom. It's very rare to see younger people jump into the hobby within any hobby, let alone cars or trains or whatever. But like model cars, like the regular 125th scale model cars, you got to be like a full-on older teenager to young adult that you see people jump into that hobby then or much later in their life. So the fact that you're as young as you are, and you took it upon yourself to say, hey, I really like this, I want to look into it more. That's really neat. This hobby is dying for younger people to jump in on it.
Yeah, it's a fun hobby. I enjoy building this stuff, and just I'm mostly into 187 stuff. The only other thing I do is I'm into remote control stuff. So like bigger, like 1/10 scale trucks and that sort of thing. So 187th is my biggest thing, but as far as RC stuff goes, I'm in the 1/10, and just anything that's kind of small and detailed. I like it a lot.
That's cool. I mean, that's you're into hobbies,
Yeah.
and it seems to be geared around the automotive side, which is cool because you could easily be into boats or trains or Gundams or whatever, but you chose the automotive side, and car people are much cooler people than most people, in my opinion. I mean, Ken Patterson will say that the train hobby is the greatest hobby in the world, but it's good. I don't know if it's the greatest. I've been a car guy my whole life, so I like cars. So that's really neat. Is Greg still on here? Greg, where are you at? Did you
He
disappear?
left like 10 minutes in.
Oh, you can see how much I got too many screens up. Every time anybody comes on, it's just a whole nother screen I've got to like scroll through. Ugh. So let's see. We got to Theodore. We got to Joseph. We got to. What are you working on, Tom?
I'm trying to find the right picture for trailer gear for a Fruhoff 28 pup. This right here, but you can't find pictures of it online. Nobody takes pictures of the trailer gear. They just take a picture of the trailer. So it's kind of like, what am I looking for here? But that's live.
I don't know. Everything you just said is like, I have no idea. It was like
Gibberish.
Spanish. Yeah, it was like that Russian that you were speaking earlier. Trailer? What? Who?
I got this Promotex pup. You can very rarely find the ribbed ones, and they're not really realistic. The ribs are a little too big. I don't care. But the trailer gear that they come with, the rear, what would you call it? Let me pull it out for you. The rear
wheels.
You wouldn't call
Axle?
it a truck. You'd call it a truck if it were for a train. Yeah, the rear wheel set. This is what it came with, which is, as you can see from here, just a big blob of molded plastic. And then this is what I've gotten it to, which is a little bit nicer, just more realistic and all. It's backwards, but I can't twist my hand like that. Now I'm going on to the landing gear, which is, they crank it down so, the next truck can come in.
Okay.
But like I said, I can't find the pictures, so ain't that life.
Oh well. Yeah. So nothing on the internet, huh? Not really. Oh well.
Harder to find it, but I mean, I just look at
Yeah.
pictures of trailers and see what I can pull. That's life.
Yeah. Well, hey, you know what? You're adapting.
I take it you wouldn't happen to know any, Sam.
I know everything. I choose to dislike most of it and really not talk about any of it. I'm a wealth of knowledge. No, I don't know. You're right. Wouldn't know anything about that stuff.
That's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
The
I'm
great
not.
thing
Trust
about the
me.
hobby is you get to learn.
Yeah, well, that is the great thing, because with this hobby ever evolving and new companies coming in slowly but surely to offer more vehicles, it's just having the knowledge on and the know-how to find it, because there could be something that is out right now that you've been dying to have forever and you don't know that it's out. So you got to either keep looking for it or know somebody that knew that you were looking for it and they looked at it and, hey, I figured out what you were looking for and it's right here.
Auction websites and sales websites are your best resource for stuff. You can find almost anything for sale, and there's 50 pictures of it, which is great. So that's what I'm on now. I'm on apparently HessAuctions.net looking at 28-foot pup trailers for sale, which I have no plans to buy, but
for reference, though. That's neat. I'll show you guys. I'll show you something I was working on. I have the other one in the other room, but let me get to the camera where I'm at so I can see what. So this, you see my hand. It's a 1/25th scale car, but let's see if we can get more light on it. Maybe too much light. You can see the metal flake.
Nice.
Yeah, the whole body. Like you look at it and it looks wet, like the paint just got shot on it. But there's graphics galore. And the whole body is metal flake. And then you put the graphics on top of the metal flake.
Is all that pinstriping those little tapes? Or
You're
is
damn
that
right
part
it
of the
is.
decal? Wow.
Yeah.
Good job on that.
That's the only way to do. Well, that's the only way I can do it.
How many
I have
coats of
another
clear on
one.
that thing?
Oh, I put tons. I want that thing to be as thick as possible so it looks as wet as possible, because you could put one layer on it and it does. You can see that it looks decent, but it doesn't look great. I'm needing it to look great. I need it to look like you just dip your finger on it and then that paint's gonna pull up with it, but it's hard as a rock.
Wow.
But that's me. That's what I like. But yeah, I've been working on 1/25th scale for, I don't know, last 5 months. And I have a way to get out of it. I just got to get that person to push me out of it and send me stuff.
I tried with the Munster car.
Yeah, no, and it worked. I mean, literally that next day I started building it and I was completely done with that car in a few hours. So it did work. I'm needing more stuff, Joseph.
Well, I was looking yesterday actually at Impala's to buy the file and print it, but
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't pull the trigger, so don't get too excited.
Oh, well, dude, if you're going to go down that route, and obviously I'm already into Impalas. I mean, how could you not? I'll go in like halves with you, because if you print one, I want one, obviously. If you print two, I'm going to want two.
Right? I might. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking about it because I would like to try my hand at making some lowriders as well.
Well, I've got more of those designs that I didn't send you. I found more, not a whole bunch more, a few more.
Right. Okay.
And I've even gone through the liberty of taking the watermarks out of those designs. I've got like 15 of them I've taken the watermarks out of, so it'll look better, even though in this scale you still don't see the watermarks anyways, so it
I
doesn't
don't
really
know what you're
matter.
talking
But right. But yeah, I've got more. Anyways,
Sure.
yeah. And then you saw that packet of wheels I got. I got wheels from I think his name is Seven from the Netherlands. He was the
Yeah,
second interview person I did.
Yeah, I got a set from you when I was there,
Yeah.
and I
So
painted them, but I haven't done anything with them.
I didn't give you any white walls, did I? Or did I give you white walls for that? Because I didn't think I had any. I don't know.
No, you didn't have any.
Okay. Yeah, I've got to get some and then I'll send you some. Unless you have, do you have a vinyl cutter?
No.
Yeah, I don't have that either. The guy that I was getting them from before, he has a machine that cuts out the little circles, like 2 circles to make a full white wall for each, tire.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have to send him those tires so he can measure them out and design new white walls for those.
Right.
Because that Severin already said he'll give me more tires, more and more and more, much as I ever want.
Dang.
Then there's another guy that was looking at a lowrider tire that might look cool too. We'll see. Have to see if that ever gets printed.
Did you send it yet?
No, I'm actually super broke until next payday.
Oh, okay.
Thanks to Christmas, I'm completely wiped out of money. Oh, you know what I was going to mention? I was going to mention this to everybody listening live, if anybody's listening live, or anybody that's going to watch this once it gets uploaded to YouTube, because it's recording to be up to YouTube. I've got a Patreon page. Anybody not familiar with Patreon, it's what most of the major podcasters, the bigwigs, use to help grow their channel. And I think you go to patreon.com and look up Halfass Presents the Podcast. I think it's all one word. I put it in as all one word. I think you can find it that way. And Patreon offers a service where you can buy like merch off of their website that'll have my logo on it. Halfass Presents the Podcast. But it also has, the whole point of the Patreon is to help grow the channel by donating money. I'm not asking anybody to do it unless they want to do it. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not putting a gun to your head. You do it if you want to do it. You don't want to do it, don't do it. Don't even go to it. I don't care. But if you do it, it'll help me maybe buy better mics so I don't have this stupid headpiece in my ear the whole time on every podcast. Better camera so I can put it on my laptop and maybe use it. Or maybe if I get enough money, I can actually buy a good laptop. Because I put tape over my screen on the laptop that's sitting right here because it's like a 10-second delay on the stupid laptop I'm using, and that's annoying, watching myself talk and not actually be live. But yeah, it's there to, if you guys want to help me grow this channel better. And I do plan on maybe with this live stream, I'm going to print out stickers with the logo Halfass Presents the Podcast. And I'm going to send them to the people that have been on the podcast. And possibly in the future, maybe make some t-shirts. But I don't know that anybody's going to want a t-shirt that says Halfass Presents the Podcast. I don't know. It was weird hearing Ken Patterson say it on his own show. So I think it'd be weird if anybody was to wear something with the stupid logo of the podcast on there. I'm going to print one for myself. So if I go to a show, I'll have it on and you'll know who's the man. I'm the man. But yeah, anybody willing and wanting to help, it's under patreon.com. And then you just type in Halfass Presents the Podcast. I'll put a link in the description below, and I'll put a link. Well, I can't put a link in this live video, so I'll just put a link in the description if anybody's interested. And then if you even go to my channel, there is a discussion tab. I put the link in the discussion tab. I don't think anybody's ever gone to that tab. That was the first time I went to it, to put it in that tab. So there's a link to that my actual Patreon in there too. So we'll see what happens. I don't know that anything's going to happen, but you know, we'll see what happens. So with that being said, how's everybody doing? You guys get your Christmas all squared away?
Nope. I completely forgot about it.
That's good. It's not that important anyways.
Right.
My whole family's on like a 1 month delay. It's probably gonna happen in like January because my parents haven't ordered anything for me and I haven't ordered anything for them. It's like,
Hey, you know,
plus
as
you
long
can't
as,
go out and shop here. I mean, you might as well just
Oh,
do it all online.
is it all shut down up there? Dang.
I mean, my hobby shop's open, but it's across the border in another state, so I'm not sure about my state regulations, but like nobody goes shopping in person just because you can do it online, and nobody really
Right.
wants to get sick, I think.
It's probably a good idea that they don't get sick.
Everywhere here is open, but the only thing that you can buy, even usable wise, is styrene or paint. They don't sell any vehicles, and if you ask to order anything, they go, "Oh, we don't want to do that."
Oh, wow.
Why not?
Well, because it's like all the military kits that I've been buying are coming from Germany, and Germany just went into another lockdown. So I've got a
Yeah.
buddy of mine who's shipping me some stuff from an undisclosed military base over there, and hopefully I'll get that care package in here by the first of the year.
Undisclosed military base. Wasn't the one on your story last night, was it?
Yeah, I ordered
No, that was just tactical Christmas because I'm feeling festive.
I ordered some of those MPE DeLoreans, and that company's in Germany too, and they told me that they couldn't ship out here. That was in the beginning of the pandemic. I ordered them, and it took me 2 months to finally get them to say they'll ship them somewhere, and they were able to ship them to the Netherlands, where Seven, whatever his name is, lives, and then he shipped them to me into America. So it took like 2 months, 2.5 months to finally get those after ordering them, and all because they couldn't ship straight to America because they're in Germany.
The last thing I ordered directly through the German post, I paid the guy. It was directly through Arsenal M. Paid him, the total I was told. My package arrived like a month later, and then 2 months later, I start getting these angry letters in the mail, and they're all in German, and I can't read German. And then Thomas, the owner, directly Facebook messages me saying, "Pay your outstanding debt or else." And I said, "What outstanding debt?" And turned out I owed like $50 worth of shipping to him. Didn't even know it.
I mean, is that really your fault though?
And
I
that's
mean,
not
if
my
you paid
fault,
the
but
total price and they
it's not
still
my,
shipped it,
it's not my fault. But at the same time, I don't want to be banned from buying his kits because I like them too much.
yeah,
Like I just
that makes sense.
finished their 1070 HIP, which it's an all resin kit, and I actually see if I can do this without breaking the model. Ah, yes, I can. Left the cab removable, and I'm working on the interior now. So that's
Wow.
I did that one, and then I did this one's actually going to a customer of mine in Texas. It's a M1A2 with a breacher blade on the front end for the Marine Corps. So, been buying up stuff here and there. And of course, I think most of you saw the gun truck, the Humvee, the Funvee gun truck I did, which has got the armor plating on this is from some kind of etched metal company in Germany that went out of business back in like the early 2000s. And I really wish I could find more of that armor plating, but that's probably never going to happen.
I have I'm in a model car club, that my head leader guy, he started going into photo etch printing. Now he's not doing the actual printing. He's creating a file and then sending it to probably China or something. But he's getting stuff photo etched for his inventory, and he has a business where he sells the stuff, and it's all for the 1/25th scale cars. But the ability to do so is out there. I don't know exactly what you'd have to do to design something, and then send it to whatever company does it out there. But I mean, if you really wanted to look into it,
it's not difficult to do photo etched products because for example, I mean, Showcase Miniatures is right up the road from me, and I've known the owners for years. And stay tuned, all of us. There's some really cool stuff coming out in 2020 from them in HO. So yeah, save your money. The issue with them has been all the photo etching that they get is from the UK. And when you order something photo etched wise, for the hobby especially, you can't just order, your little, 2 or 3 your little itty bitty sprues and be done with it. You got to order a full sheet metal size of this product, like a 4x8 sheet almost. So it's cost at the end of the day.
right?
So, if I went in, I could easily, get the gun truck file and do my own off CAD. But, at the end of the day, is it really, I just want to do 3 or 4 more of these gun trucks, and is it really worth me paying $10K worth of photo etching to do 3 gun trucks and then sit on the product and sell it over the next 15, 20 years? So it's all about cost in the end. I'm pretty sure I could 3D print it if I really wanted to. But best is like, the doors on this truck are supposed to be sheet metal, armor supplement sheet metal, and I can just recreate that with styrene, which I did. So at the same time, yes, a lot of these trucks I can just cut the styrene shapes out and do it myself, but a lot of it's just being lazy.
No, I get you. I mean, I'm that way with a lot of stuff. I can't figure out how to use my 3D printer. Joseph even came out here to show me how to do it, and I still can't figure it out. So talk about lazy. Like, I got old man brain. My old man brain don't want to learn anything new.
I'm trying
All the
to figure
steps
out,
he showed me was like 1,000 steps to get something done that I couldn't even get done.
I'm trying to figure out how to do finally get around to cast resin, because like a lot of my accessories on my tanks and stuff are all cast resin. But found this very rare Abrams kit from Germany with the Tusk Urban Armor on it. But my problem is the rear basket on it was just too far gone, being resin. So I've got to cast my own and make my own next. That's going to be an interesting project for 2021 because it's not getting done in 2020.
Well, hey, at least you have an idea of what you want to get done, so that's good.
Biggest issue I've got right now is the cost of everything is just going just through the roof, and it's just it's just to the point of being able to afford it. I made a $50 mistake here recently with my trailer and broke the axles off, and there's no way to fix it. So I've got to buy a whole new kit for it.
Yay.
Send me pictures of that after, and I'll see if I can help you with anything.
I'm about to, dude, because you and I have talked about this, I think a few weeks ago. I'm about to throw it across the room. I'm so frustrated with that kit.
Don't do that.
Well, okay, the head, this is actually truck number 2 I built, because the first one I bought, it's another $50 kit. It was missing a wheel. So I emailed the guy on eBay who sold me the kit and said, hey, it's missing a wheel. Can you replace it? And he says, well, I'll send you a brand new kit. I did the first one in woodland paint and put the matte coat on it, and it melted the resin.
Oh.
So that's and I'm sitting here just devastated with it because the resin's, all the rivet detail, the finer details I put on it, that they're just done. So I I was going to just say, screw it, I'm done. I'm never going to build it again. Then I realized, oh, he sent me an all new kit. I can redo this.
Right.
So I said, I'm just going to do it in tan, one-tone paint job. I'm never building another one again. Once I build the trailer, I'm finished building the heavy truck series for the military. I'm never going to do another set ever again.
Well, here's the deal. You send it to me. Worst comes to worst, I get a free trailer. Best comes to best, I repair it and give it back to you for free. Because I don't care. I'm just fixing it. But hey, worth a shot.
Yeah, I can ship it to you now. If USPS actually gets it to you within 28 days, that's going to be another question.
Or you send it to me. I'll put some bling bling tires on there, a metal flake paint job, some flames, and I'll make it bounce or something.
You're talking about the bling bling paint job. Okay, my buddy sends me this Abrams kit right here from Roco, and he says, do whatever you can, detail it all to your heart's content, do whatever you want, but I get to choose the paint job. And I said, okay, deal. And he found this meme of a white Abrams tank and someone had photoshopped the FedEx logos all over it.
Oh no.
So I've got to do the FedEx tank. Yes.
That's a neat idea.
I guess this is going to be the Chicago edition. So that's why I'm going to call this the Chicago edition tank.
That works. I mean, in the Hot Wheel customized community, these people are going absolute crazy with decals, just coming up with any kind of sponsored decal of any company and throwing it on a Hot Wheels, because for one, they can print it and make a decal out of it, and it gives it a custom paint job. So it's kind of the same thing.
The one that I had an issue with recently was I've been working on medics left and right. And my fellow 187 member John Velote, who does a lot of fire truck stuff, did me these really cool 3D printed backboards. They're kind of hard to pick up, but I'm really happy with the way 3D printing's come in the past few years. I just wish that I could find some more military accessories and the Rhino IED mounts and stuff like that, because I'm out.
Speaking of both photo etch and fire trucks, this is a helpful tip for anybody out there who's building Orins or Howies, anything that has a blank panel pump surface, that not an individual pump panel, but rather they just mount the instrument covers over it. If you buy 1/25th scale 5-point seat harnesses, they come with these seatbelt buckles, but they work perfectly for the throws for the levers in like a blank face truck like this, something that you'd have that on there. But yeah, that's just a tip. I mean, I'm still working on it myself, but yeah, is what it is.
Pretty cool.
That is really cool. I find like most of my custom parts I find for my cars are usually coming from a Hot Wheels 1/64th car, and I find the most detailed part or the smallest wheels or whatever that can pass for like an 18 to 22 inch wheel on a 187 scale car. And for the most part, I can make it work pretty well. So it's always being able to see that little fine detail of that minuscule part off of something somewhere and say, I can make this work. That was a good idea, Tom.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be building fire trucks anytime soon, but I'd like to see them.
I got a tip for you guys, because all you guys are civilian modelers, but this kind of comes across the board too, from military to civilian. There are tarps everywhere. And if you want to create a really cool looking tarp in any color you want, just take some tissue paper and get some good acrylic paint, recommending Tamiya. But if your paintbrush is really wet and you dip it in the paint, it's really wet, and you have it on your board, you just let the paint soak in and just drape it on whatever you want. It hardens like a rock. And you can put some other glues and stuff on there to help finish it off some more paint later on, but it looks amazing. It looks like weathered tarps once you weather it and stuff. I've done some green ones and some tan ones. I think I'm gonna do the the blue tarps next on a few Humvees and maybe some orange ones, because I saw those in some earlier rack pictures. But that's a very easy trick to use, especially if you're parking like on Joseph's modules. You know, you got the cars in the driveways. You always got the beater car in the neighborhood. It's got that blue tarp over it, you know, and it's that, oh, I'll get to it later project car. That's an easy way to do it. So
Also 50-50 mixture of water and white glue also does the same thing. There you go. It's a Jeep that I was working on, but quit working on like 2 years ago. But it's the same kind of idea.
yeah, I think Tom was the one who taught me that technique. So yeah, sorry if I stole your idea, dude.
No problem. I don't care.
With that, guys, I got to run. I got to go make the news happen for the 10 o'clock. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right,
Have a great
Rad,
night.
thanks for
All
joining.
right, have a good night.
Speaking of tarps, not really, I guess tarps, but you know that blue tarp you put over an old abandoned car or whatever? Blue painter's tape, because it's already textured. That works. That's a lot of Hot Wheels guys that customize cars use the blue painter's tape. And you can paint like literally like a gloss coat of spray paint over it to make it more shiny, more plasticky. But if you leave a car out there long enough, the shine on a brand new tarp is going to go away and it's going to look dull. And if you rip it and tear it up and literally take each strand of tape out of there, you could literally make a tarp look weathered and destroyed, like it's been sitting on a car for 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
I've seen that done like on buildings or houses where people were trying to show it was a torn up house or whatever.
Right.
That might go good with the trailer park, kind of, ragtag in there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's you can get black duct tape to look like black tarp on a roof. You just cut it in thin pieces. And it could, I mean, you could cover a whole roof really, but I mean, because all that stuff is usually temporary. It's never, meant to sit on top of a roof for years and years and years. And it's usually shiny all the time that you see it anyways.
Right.
So there's another tip. So, Joseph, you were talking about you were thinking about using a different kind of window setup for your cars. You don't want to use Mike Budd's genius tape method?
I do. Like I tried a couple of them. What I was trying to do is put the window. Let me switch my camera now. Put the window on the inside of the car. Where the hell's the camera? Instead of on the outside. And I had some cut. Where the hell did they go? So it's just that really thin plastic. You probably can't even see it.
Kind of.
So I was doing it with this car, and I just cut it barely to shape. I don't know. You can't really see it on camera, but barely to shape. But the problem is the back window is going to be curved on this particular car. But I was trying with that. I tried to put the tape on the inside, but it was obviously sticky or whatever. Then you get fingerprints all over it. And so I'm just going to try this method and see. If I mess it up, I'll just print another car.
I did that tape method on the inside, going backwards so it stuck to the inside of the cab on my beer truck from Sylvan. That custom rainbow black paint job custom truck. Hold on, I'll get it and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Oh, we got somebody else coming in. So if you look at here, I chopped the bottom off and I cut the fenders so the fenders sit higher on top of the cab, so it's not such a it gives that more custom lowered look. But I did the windows with that that tape, and I put the tape on the inside so the window wipers can stick to it.
Right.
And I set it inside of a display case its whole life anyway, so it's not like it's gonna get dust all over it from the outside.
Right. I was going to spray mine with clear to take the stickiness off of it so that it don't attract too much dust.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. Who just joined? Did that person join? Maybe he didn't join. Somebody went to join. I hit admit, and they're not on here.
Oh.
I don't know.
I cannot do that in my room with the windows. I got to do it the other way around because watch this. Here's a 53-foot trailer. Look at that.
Oh. Wow.
That's all dust.
I'm gonna need you to get a
Just
display
keep in mind,
case.
I got
Tom.
like 20 of these. They're all covered in dust. Oh, it's horrible.
Right.
Yeah, Joseph came to my house. He saw my display cases and how full they're getting. I need more display cases.
Me too.
Really,
Me too.
Joseph? Because you walked away from the RPM meet with like 50 of them. It seemed like.
They're all, excuse me, full now.
I'm sure. I believe it. It's better to display them in a display case than hide them away in a box somewhere and then have boxes on top of boxes. If you can just store them in there, it's good to do that.
Here's
I
another
believe
little another little model. I printed a bunch of 3D printed parts for it. So the tires, the focus, there you go. The roll bar and the front mega bumper. I don't know what you call that. Push card. But I actually went crazy and did a whole bunch, but I haven't got around to putting them on there yet. But I got a bunch for a bunch of other models, some of those Atlas 4 trucks and the Suburbans and the Blazers or whatever, but I haven't got around to putting them together yet.
That's cool though. I mean, hey, at least you got something that you're doing and you got, plans. Oh, Rob Danner. Rob Danner's trying to join. All right, I just admitted him. Let's see if he connects. I haven't heard of that name yet.
Kelly,
Rob
maybe?
Danner.
Hi.
Rob,
Yes.
you're in here. I can hear you. We can't see you. Somewhere in your settings at the bottom of your screen, we'll have a setting to let you
Didn't want to
see.
ruin the whole thing.
Oh, there you are. How you doing, man?
Okay.
First time viewer, or not viewer, first time being on the podcast. That's
Yeah.
cool. It's good that you were able to join. I think some people are trying to join and maybe they can't. I don't know. Maybe they're not trying to join. Who knows? So we've been just talking cars and commercial vehicles all night. Were you able to see the live stream at all? Was it working for you?
I don't know.
It's not working on my end. It's recording. Or the other participants in this live cast is seeing the recording, but it's not working on my end. I don't know. But as long as they can see the live recording on YouTube, then that's all that I care about.
Yeah, I just jumped in on the Zoom thing and
Well, that's cool. So I don't really know you, Rob. I don't know how many people do know you. I don't know you.
probably
What are
nobody.
you up to? What do you build? What do you like?
I'm mostly just follow along. I'm working on a couple of things, but nothing special. I'm not getting in. I don't get into the quite the alterations that you got. Not in my work area now. Can't pull anything up unless I trod down the steps. But
You don't have to show nothing. That's
yeah, I
fine.
do have some. I'm working on a modified stock car that's kind of started out life. I don't know, probably as a Tootsie toy or something like that. It's a cast metal car, and I just was looking at it one day. It came in a box of parts that I got from somewhere, and one day I was looking at it and I thought, hey, this thing doesn't need fenders. It make a good. I'm from Reading, Pennsylvania, and we used to have a really hot shot stock car track here, and so I decided that maybe it would need to build one of them. I also took a Classic Metal Works International flatbed. I was nutsing around with it to make it more of a ramp truck. That's about
cool.
the craziest modifications I've made.
That's
So,
cool. Greg Burke, he did a whole diorama of stock cars, like Jordan Highway Miniatures, and he
yeah,
detailed them all up, and that was pretty cool. And then there was a guy, um, Kelly, no, not Kelly. How did I forget his name? Anyways, there was another guy that did a stock car diorama scene. I think maybe he just did the cars. I don't know. So that's neat to see more people are doing that with this scale, because it is part of the car culture.
yeah.
So it's neat to see people doing that.
It amazes me what some of the stuff I see on here on the 187th website or Facebook site. I'm going to move
Yeah,
because so I'm not interfering with the other people watching television here.
that's fine. That's neat. Yeah, I had everybody kind of go around saying what they were building earlier and what they're up to in the beginning of the stream. And then we just started talking tips and tricks and upcoming builds and projects and things that we're planning on doing and whatnot. So that's cool that you have a project that you're working on. Where is it? I got a ramp truck for a car that I got from Louis. He sent me
I
a
remember seeing it on one of
ramp
your
truck.
podcasts.
Yeah, I haven't done anything to that. I planned on modifying it to be more custom or whatever, look neater and nicer and cooler, but I just haven't done that yet. I got a lot of stuff though. There's so many projects. I mean, I'm sure as most of you get into this hobby and you start with just a few things and then you end up with a collection of just parts and cars and all kinds of stuff all over the place everywhere. And you have ideas and desires to do all of them eventually, but it's just time. That's all it ever is. How far can you go and how much can you get done and when can you do it all?
Yep.
So that's neat. Being that I don't know much about you. How long you been building or how long you been in the hobby?
You're still on with me, with Rob?
Yeah, Rob, you.
Okay. Well, I predominantly have been in HO trains, and train layouts need cars, and so all of a sudden it turned out I started ending up with more cars than buying more cars recently than I have been buying trains. You can see some of them back there. Most of the stuff is just off the shelf, but here's what I've got so far in this ramp truck and stock car. It's not much, but I bumped into, going way back, I bumped into the 187th Vehicle Club at a meet in Allentown by the Allentown airport. Had to be, I don't know, 90 something or early 2000s, and just kind of followed it. And like I say, most of what I got is railroad oriented. But so that's been most of it, just supplementing train layout type stuff.
That's cool. I know a little bit about where you're from. I know there's a train club out there, the Chesapeake Train Club. I don't know what they're called,
They're
but
probably
they're out
all
in the
further south.
Chesapeake area.
Yeah.
Have you
Well,
been
I've seen
part of them or
stuff. No,
them?
Baltimore, Reading. We're more in the Amish country of southeast Pennsylvania.
Oh,
So,
see, I'm looking at your name tag. Your name tag says Rob Danner, Virginia Beach.
you know what? It says Virginia Beach. I have no idea why it says Virginia Beach.
Okay,
I was
never
on
mind. I
another
don't know
Zoom
where you're
meeting,
at
they
then.
said, "Oh,
My
yeah,
bad.
I don't know how it ended up with Virginia Beach. My girlfriend's daughter lives down there, but I don't know that they've ever signed on to Zoom or anything from there. Yeah,
Wow.
Reading, Pennsylvania. It's 60 miles northwest of Philadelphia. It's the home of the Reading Railroad.
Okay,
And,
okay. That's cool. I don't know nothing about Pennsylvania except that I've driven through it to get to the Amherst show in Massachusetts. So
Cold and
that's
snowy right now.
yeah, I've been seeing some posts on Facebook. A lot of the Northeast or just the North in general is getting some snow pretty good right now. I'm in North Carolina and we have no snow
Oh, it was-
anywhere in the state.
No,
I was just
it snowed yesterday. It was clear today.
wow. I was just talking to Brian man, I'm gonna screw up his name again. Donato? Donato?
I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I just uploaded
Nope.
his video yesterday. And he didn't have snow at that moment, but then I see the posts he makes the very next day and there's snow. So yeah. I'm sure we're gonna get snow down here eventually. But till then. So yeah, man.
Say,
That's cool.
anybody remember those not so beautiful, what were they? Not fresh cherries, but street classics or street whips vans, the Dodge vans,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
the ones that were like camper vans. These guys. No, it's
Yep.
hard to see. It's in the bag. I took one of them and I made it to the more realistic version, which is, these are horrible to see, but can you see that there's the huge bay window in there? And then there's on this side, you got the love, it's like the heart window in the back, and then that's the only, and then the other window. Well, they're indented in there, which kind of sucks because it doesn't look like the stock van. And what I did was I cleared off this whole side. So now there's no windows on the side. In this side, I put the 2 factory doors instead of the custom doors that came with in the kit. Sam probably would have liked the stock one better because it had the
Well,
groovy.
now it looks like a Predator van. So good job.
Right.
I can turn it into an ambulance, but is what
You
it
can
is.
just paint it black and
Free
say
candy.
free candy, kids.
Always remember, make sure you see the candy before you get into the truck.
No, that heart-shaped window was a really neat 70s, 80s style, custom look for those vans. So that it was neat that they installed that or created that for the production.
It was a circle, but I was getting at.
Yeah,
You don't see.
you could have
the
made it
little-
into a heart though.
I could have. You don't see the little portholes anymore. I'm not sure why.
Because it's a dated time period thing that we're not in anymore.
Nope. Nobody makes love in the back of vans anymore. Come on.
Well, not with that shag carpeting. Good luck in finding that shag.
Here's my rendition. I don't know if you could read it.
I can't read it. What does it say?
Stabbing cabin.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. I
See,
didn't
that's
close
neat
the window.
though.
I
There
didn't
we
close the
go.
window up though. Yeah, I didn't close the window up, but Yeah.
I didn't see it at first, but that looks nice.
I thought about making one of those ambulance from that movie.
Cannonball Run.
Yeah,
You can.
Cannonball
Mine
Run.
is.
Yeah.
Mine's the one I've shredded out all the windows, or not shredded, covered over. If you want, I can see if I can hook you up with another one. You just have to cut out all the windows for where the where they'd be.
Right. Because
But
that one had windows, didn't it? But it
Like all windows all the way around, no?
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
was
all the
covered
way
up with
around.
decals. Yeah.
And then create Dom DeLuise and Burt Reynolds in the back or something.
Yeah.
Transcon Medevac.
Yeah.
The only really car I like from that whole movie was the Lamborghini Countach.
Yeah. Got a couple of cool cars.
What? Chevy square body? GMC square
Yeah.
body, maybe?
Maybe.
Yeah.
So, oh, that guy I was talking about that made those dirt track cars was Ryan Kelly. Ryan Kelly? No, not Ryan Kelly. Anyways, that guy that I'm talking about that I can't remember his name. He took one of the buses that bus that you printed, Theodore.
Okay.
He was going to make a whole stripper scene in the back with poles and strippers throughout the whole interior and light it up so it looked like a stripper bus. And I thought the idea was awesome. And I don't know that he ever finished it. I know he started it and he would show these updated pictures. But I don't know if he ever finished it. But the idea was cool.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Right. Maybe it wasn't even him but somebody started it, got the strippers, and either put them in there. Maybe never got the lights in there. I don't know, but the idea was a neat idea. But it was a van like or a bus like that version that you printed. So I don't know how he made it. I don't know if he cut off a regular school bus and put a different nose on it. I don't know what he did, but the idea was a neat idea.
187.
Yeah,
That
that's
was
the
a-
only scale he was building.
That was a joke going around the Brian Donato's plow group because people kept posting fire trucks in there. And Brian says, "Well, I'm going to post buses and strippers."
Well, there you go. I do have a question for you, Theodore. Do you plan on building anything different than anything different with the same material, meaning the same type of buses, like any other style, like a custom style, or like taking two buses and make it like a double, I don't know, doing anything different, in other words? I mean, you do these different themed buses and these different logos a lot, and that's pretty cool. But I'm thinking like, I think I even said this on the podcast we did, like something where there was a car tucked underneath it with a trap door or something, or I don't know, just something crazy, something weird, something different. You plan on doing that anytime soon?
I don't know about anytime soon, but there was actually a bus in real life where they cut off a semi truck and put the front of a semi truck on the back of a bus. And I was actually thinking about doing that, but that's going to take some, innovation,
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how I would get that done.
Yeah. That's a good question.
It was more like a RV, but they took the back of a bus and cut the front of a Peterbilt semi, and I thought it was cool. There's a couple of them riding around in real life. I was thinking about making that one.
That'd be neat, man. Would it be different, but at the same time, just the idea, because you don't see it, it'd probably be the only one in this scale. Sounds like a cool idea.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that. Definitely.
Because it seems like only the super rich, because they're like probably $1 million luxury coaches, take those buses that you got and totally make them into like luxury RV homes with like every part of it, widening it out and raising up or whatever. I don't know if it was a 3D image design Photoshop thing or something, but I seen where somebody took like the bus that's behind your head and they made it a double decker. So they added a second roof to it that raised up. And it became a 2-story.
I had a double decker, but I sold it.
Oh, okay. But it was like a luxury RV, you know?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So they just, I couldn't see the inside. Maybe so. I'm thinking maybe it was just a 3D computer CAD that somebody created that showed it lifting up and not having any clue on how you'd get to the second set of, second story or whatever. But the idea of it was super neat.
Well, another one I was thinking about doing, like this one is what they call a Prevost. Back in the I would say the early 90s, the regular Prevost about 45 feet long. They had one that was 65 feet long, but it articulated. So I was thinking about buying, but the thing about Shapeways, this bus is so expensive. So it's like, if I buy 2 and cut it in half and make a 60 feet long one, that would be cool, but it would be really expensive.
It would be really expensive. And then if you screwed it up, whoa.
See, that's the other thing. I know a lot of people like the stuff that I've done, but I still consider myself a beginner. So I don't know if I can pull that one off. And spending that kind of money just to play around, I don't know.
Well, here's what's funny about that. So somebody was talking about I think Radisson was talking about a really expensive screw up. Yeah, he was talking about that with one of his trailers. I was looking for a 1/25th scale 1960 Chevy station wagon. And they made them in promos, and promos are like the old 1960s, 70s style first edition to see if people wanted it. They would travel it around to shows or whatever in that scale. And I was looking for an original one of those or any wagon on that. And I looked all online and all this stuff. And somebody said they had just the body. And I was like, well, I could work with the body. I said, how much do you want for it? He said, $100. I'm like, oh, $100 is expensive, but I pulled the trigger. The very next day, I find out a company makes this in resin for $14.95, and I already paid the guy. So I was so mad because I could have bought it for 15% of the original costing. And what I did with that $100 body is I cut the roof off and I put it on a 2-door El Camino, 59 El Camino. So the roof from a 59 and a 60 is the same roof, but I made a 59 El Camino station wagon. So I cut that $100 car up just for the roof. It probably made it even less expensive and just wasted money left and right. I mean, it came out good. The model came out very good. It was just cutting up something that cost me $100 and hoping I don't screw it up.
Well, the thing about my particular hobby with the buses, as far as the 187 group, I'm probably the more popular one in the group that does buses, but
you're the most popular. I can tell you that right now because of how much you post and you constantly post. If you post it once a month, people be like, who? But you post like every other day or sometimes every day.
But in that particular group, I'm probably the most popular, but what y'all don't understand, I'm not as big as some of the guys in some of the dedicated bus modeler groups. I mean, the stuff these guys do are unbelievable. Like, I would even recommend some of the guys for you so you can maybe do a video with them in the future. But I mean, these guys, they go to the length of, when we talk about dioramas and stuff like that, like they go to the length of having the trash on the floor with the bus with
Inside the bus.
Yeah, I mean, there's another guy. I think he goes to the same place you get to get your ecto done, and he has a bus fully lit up and everything, 187 scale, and I mean it's amazing, amazing. Wow. And again, they spend a lot of money.
Oh yeah. Well, if you're gonna light it all up, I mean, the LEDs alone ain't that cheap, and then to make sure they light up and be put in right, if they do it themselves, it still takes a lot of time and a lot of material and whatnot. So that all that stuff ain't cheap. I know my ectos, I send it to a company to get done, and they're not cheap. So you know, you easily spending well over $100 on a car if you want it all lit up, plus the price of the car.
Man, I know there's a particular guy, one of the groups, he has thousands of buses, and I've seen some of the buses he's purchased on eBay, and he spent upwards of $500 for one bus.
Wow. That bus better be RC and drive it on its own.
So when I say there's some diehard bus guys, they put me to shame. They put me to shame.
But are they all building 187 or is it all different scales?
Yeah, all
you
different
like the
scales.
187 King in our group.
Yeah.
So just think like another, couple more years, you get like super really into customizing and detailing, man. You have full interiors, you'll have lights, maybe even RC too, where they just drive it on their own or whatnot.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah. I really got more into the diorama stuff because I actually got bored with taking the same picture of the bus in the same. So I've been trying to get more dioramas and stuff going on.
Well, you do. I mean, in the interview we did, you have that closet that's got this full bus station scene and maybe one other two things. I can't remember all that you have, but the whole diorama that you made for all your photos, I mean, it's great. It's not big, but it's big enough to get exactly what you need, how you need with different angles and stuff. It's a really well laid out diorama that you made for taking.
Yeah, I mean, it's right. If you want to see it, it's right here. I'll show it to you one more time.
I mean, you show all the people that's watching or that will be watching. That's cool.
Okay, let me see if I can flip this. So, I actually finished the across the street. That's the as you see the hotel with the bank and the restaurant. This is actually a Walmart. You can't see it because it's facing the other way, but I try to create like little stories, and I would just zoom in into. So this is all in my closet. So I wish I had more room so I could add more to it, but that's it.
I mean, what you did in that little room, though, I mean, you got something so well laid out and thought out that most people, I don't think, could have been able to build something with that little bit of room, with that much detail and that much possibility for angle shots. Because every one of your photos, it's like you have this huge layout. It looks like a huge layout with how you've taken your photos on that little space.
Well, it's funny how I got started because I turned a negative situation to a positive. I used to post pictures of my buses, and one guy he put a comment under my picture and said, "Oh, that's a nice bus, but that road looks weird." And what he was talking about was the carpet on the floor.
Wow.
So I said, from that day on, you'll never see my bus on the carpet no more.
Like the Sahara Desert we were driving in. Big old bus.
Exactly. So
no, it's cool. You did a good job. And
appreciate it.
I'm guessing it's cut up in two spots. That way you
Yeah, it
can
is.
lift it, and
Yeah,
because to be able to see that Walmart, you needed to, like, turn it around or whatnot. Because to be able to see that Walmart, you needed to, like, turn it around or whatnot.
yeah.
But the fact that you did that in a closet, I mean, you took, like you said, a negative situation, turned it completely upside down and made it positive. And your little closet layout is really cool, man.
Well, I appreciate it, definitely.
And you got a parking lot. Parking lot, Joseph. We're gonna have a car show in that parking lot. We're gonna send them a
Yeah,
whole
I
bunch of
know.
cars to take pictures of. A car show in the Walmart parking lot.
Right? That'd be nice. I think it might be easier to model in the closet because you don't have to deal with the background of,
Well, he
the
even painted the sky on his on his walls, which was really neat. Or
Yeah.
it's not painted; it's something else. But
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just a piece of paper. Like I got some right here. You know, just a wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah,
nice.
yeah. It
Yeah, I
turned
don't.
out good. I really like that one.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, we in this room that I do most of podcasts in. I mean, this was my son's room, so he wanted a sky night theme. So the roof is all black with sticky glow in the dark stars everywhere, and then the walls are all painted blue with sponge batched clouds everywhere. And then he moved out as soon as we were done and wanted to move into a different room in our house. We had this playroom that's like huge, and he's destroyed that room and called it his. So this became my hobby room. So the walls were done. I didn't have to do nothing to them.
Yeah.
But that's cool, man. And now, Joseph, you got this nice room. I haven't actually saw, I think, a full picture of your room because when we did your interview, you were still like setting it all up. But you got a
Oh,
nice
yeah.
little room there.
Yeah, I've been working on it slowly. Let me turn the camera around. So I built these benches in 3 sections or whatever. You can pull it out, and then I need to hide all the garbage underneath. But yeah, and then all the shelves I probably hung up. Put some trains and trucks and cars. That's it. I don't have any more shelves though, but I do have a ton of stuff. Here's all my car collection in the closet in these little bins and a bunch of more trash. Too much stuff. But all
Never
this
enough.
stuff is my train stuff that's packed away. One day I'm going to put the train set out onto the wood deals I built, and then all my 3D printers. I got 2 of them in here and 2 of them in the garage because they are the resin type and they smell. So
That's what
I
I've
don't
heard.
print. Yeah, they're not horrible, but I don't want to print them in the house and have this room smell. But
Right, and who knows what might linger on into the walls and into the like wood or whatever, you know? Who
yeah,
knows?
and I don't want to spill it and ruin the floor or whatever. If I ruin the concrete in the garage, it don't matter.
So here's what's funny about you talking about trains. I did an interview with Ken Anderson, who's a train guy. He's part of a train club in our state, Sippin' and Switchin' Train Club. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
And he's got their whole club is module based, so they each build a module. Tracks got to be certain part in the modules, so they all hook together, right? And we have enough room with our module design setup to where
right.
we can put those tracks and have us be part of that group and our group, and it all conjoin all together at the same time because their tracks are set so far off of the very front of the module that being that we're only like an inch and a half away from the front of our module where our road is,
Right.
they're like 5 inches or more back, maybe 10 inches back. I don't think it's that much. Maybe it's like 6 inches, but our road would fit right in front of the track on their sipping and switching modules to where we can be universal. I thought, and I was talking to him on that interview, and I thought that'd be neat. I might buy or have one of them build me a module like that, so I can then take all my stuff and put on that train module, and I can go from show to show and
Right.
be in both parts of the hobby. Not that I want any trains, but the fact that a train could roll over my back lot studio thing, that'd be
Right.
neat. It'd be
Yeah,
able
that
to
would
show
be
a lot
cool.
more people.
Yeah, that would be definitely cool. I got a friend who does that module stuff, but it's in scale. And he does it all around Dallas or Texas area, Louisiana, all the states around Oklahoma or whatever. But it's in scale. But I've done a couple buildings for him, and usually he's actually working on one for next year, a haunted house I built for him, and he's got the LED light in there that flashes, and he's got spooky sounds, and I think he's going to do some smoke
Oh,
out of
that's
it or
cool.
whatever. Yeah, I can't wait for that one to turn out. But yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that type of thing, like build a module with a track on it. That way you can get more exposure,
Yeah,
or whatever. But it'd be pretty cool.
that would be really cool. That's kind of what I was thinking, because I'm friends with him on Facebook, and he posted a live video of him setting up with his club on a Friday, and I was like, "Where are you?" Because I didn't know that there was any show of any kind going on locally. And he goes, "I'm right here down the road," and he was like 30 minutes away. I was like, "I'm gonna see you tomorrow." So I went down there, and I was talking to him for a few hours, and I was getting the layout of the track and all the information. I was like, "Dude, we could totally do this. Have track and road on all of our modules if we wanted to, and half of this club, half of this group or more are in the trains. I mean, you're in the trains, Joseph, and a lot of other people are in the trains. And you have trains. You may just not have a train layout or a module, but this could get us to where we could do both.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
we should look into setting something like that up, using their dimensions on their modules, and adopting that onto our modules.
Right. And well, my problem is time with work, travel, and whatever else.
That's everybody's problem. Quit using
Yeah.
that as an excuse.
I haven't. Look
Now-
how much work I've done.
You know how far I have to go to work every morning? 10 feet. The traffic
I'm
is
telling you.
horrible.
Right now, me too. But
So that's cool.
yeah.
Well, that's neat. That's you got a nice room. Theodore's got a pretty cool room for his little diorama. I don't know about how many other people got cool rooms. It looked like Rob has a pretty cool room there. And
No,
then
actually, it's a
London has a
garage.
neat room. Oh, is it a garage? You know what? I'm surprised
my-
you can be in there in your garage. Isn't it freezing in your garage, or do you have it sealed off?
Sitting right in front of a heater.
Oh, okay.
No, it gets cool in here, so it's never going below freezing, but it's not heated except for an electric heater that I got back here. So one of those,
Wow.
I don't know what they're called, but ceramic jobs. So it keeps my space warm. But,
Does the temperature ever affect your models?
I've never had, not really. I think it's messed up some paint every now and then, but the variation, because in the summer it's hot and gotta have the fans going, but it's never. I think I had one time when I tried soldering rail together on an HO layout. I had some rail buckle because it wasn't able to expand, and went kind of. But heck, real railroads have that problem too. So, but
Right.
that's the only temperature related issues I've had, other than walking in here and going, screw this, too cold, or screw this, too hot, and went the other direction.
That's cool. It looks like London has a decent setup behind them. I don't know how that rest of the room looks, but
Yeah, it's actually out in my garage, and I just have a little heater in here because it gets pretty cold, but it's a mess in here. But I just have like my work area all in there, and then over here is all my remote controlled collection. So
Wow.
I got it pretty well full in here. A lot of junk too, but I got to reorganize some more. But
That's some pretty professional lighting you got there to the left or right of you.
yeah, that's when I do my YouTube videos. I got some studio lights.
So is your YouTube channel model based or is it something else?
Yeah, I custom build HO scale dioramas.
Well,
on
then you
there.
got to plug it, man. Plug it for
Yeah, well-
everybody that's listening or going to watch this to see you, find you.
Yeah, well, all you have to do is my YouTube channel is just London Drysdale, but my company's Cherokee Valley Railroad. So I actually do this for a living. I build custom scale trucks and I sell them on eBay. That's how I make money as of now. So
How
yeah,
dare you? That's my dream job, is to make
Yeah.
cars for people.
yeah,
You're
I
doing
just
it?
I custom build them. Somebody can email me or message me on Facebook. I build a lot of. I've been building quite a few custom models here recently. So yeah, it's fun. I used to work for a classic car auction company, like kind of like Barrett Jackson or Mecum, like that.
My other dream job.
Yeah, well, sadly I had to leave, but not for anything bad, but I had to leave that, so I decided to just do my models full time for now. I had a few other
Wow.
plans, but they got shut down because all the crap going on. But yeah, I enjoy building them custom. I build all kinds of models in here, and then I film. I just started filming on YouTube 6 months ago, I think. I only released 2 videos because whenever I get spare time to do sit and film a video for 3 or 4 days. But I did the trailer park. I actually filmed that whole thing from beginning to end, and I built a lighthouse craftsman kit. I'm gonna do a little bit of that stuff too, like old craftsman wood buildings and that kind of stuff. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. When this video goes up on YouTube as a watchable video for later, I'll put a link in the description of your Facebook page, and I'll message you to send me a link to your YouTube page. But I'll do that with everybody that participated tonight. And if anybody watching or listening later or whatever wants to know anything more about anybody that's been on the podcast tonight, I will have that their Facebook pages linked to the description so they can all check you guys out, see what you're all about if they don't already know.
Cool.
So that's pretty cool, London. Looks like Tom. Where are you at, Tom? Is that your bedroom, or is that your hobby room, or is that your living room, or what?
Kind of a combination between hobby room and bedroom at the moment. Because not to be I'm still in college, but I'm still in college, so it's kind of my parents' house. Yeah. It's can't really shine the light. It's gonna blind you guys. I'm sorry. But and I'll turn it backwards. That's the shelf where I keep all my model kits. You can see it from here, can't you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Quite a
And
bit.
the main shelves are in back with just a bunch of random trucks. Most of those are stuff I've collected. I like to build, but I don't build with enough quantity that I can fill up a whole shelf. I have like a shelf maybe like this big filled with my own trucks. I don't build 10 trucks a year. I'll be truthful with you. Trucks and cars, I should say. I build like 3 or 4 a year. It's kind of sad, but it is what it is.
Look,
Like
the
more
amount
time,
of
but it just
detail
takes so long
you
to build
put
them.
in those, I mean, I don't blame you for building just that many. You got so much detail in so many of your vehicles that it puts my detail to shame. And I put a lot of detail in a lot of them, but you make them to where they look real, like you could actually pull the chains down from a wrecker and use it. So I don't blame you for only
Thank you, sir.
building as much as you build. Because think about if you didn't put that
Yeah,
much detail, then you'd have more that aren't that detailed.
True. I'd like to build more, but it's like It's either the time or the motivation. You have a ton of time, no motivation. You have a ton of motivation, no time.
True.
That's exactly.
Yeah, very true.
Speaking of dioramas earlier, you guys were talking about dioramas you take pictures on. Here's my diorama that I've been working on for the past 3 years. You can see I've done absolutely nothing. It's supposed to be a city scene whenever I get to it, but it's all in pieces. I mean, yeah.
Think
But
of
when
it
you guys see a
this
city
way.
scene, hopefully it'll look nice.
Think of it this way. If anybody plays games, everybody knows of GTA 5. Well,
Oh yeah.
every few months they give you DLCs, which are just updates to the game, little missions, add-ons, whatever. Yet the city stays exactly the same. There's a skyscraper that's been being built for the last 15 years almost that hasn't been completed. You think a DLC could complete that building, but no. Let's keep the building completely uncompleted and don't do nothing with it. So you're not as bad as GTA, Tom.
Thank you. I have one GTA car I'll show you later, but at the moment,
I've seen it and I love it.
yeah, I just gotta get decals for it. You know, I gotta make them. Do any of you guys make decals? And what program do you do them on? I'm thinking Microsoft Word might be good because they give you the bar to size it, but there has to be something better.
Yes, I make custom decals. I've been selling them actually for a while now. I use Photoshop for all my stuff, just because that's my favorite. But
Photoshop's nice, but then they got you paying the fee, which is like what, $30 a month?
I pay $9.99. It's
Gotcha.
I just have the Photoshop and Lightroom package. You can get like packages with like Adobe Illustrator or something like that for 30, 40. Some are like $100 a month, but
I got free Premiere Pro for school a while ago. It's video editing. My God, that stuff is beautiful. That program is beautiful, but it's so expensive.
Yeah, on my old job, I had Photoshop and they had the whole full package, and they were spending a lot on that, and it was but yeah, Premiere Pro is nice for doing stuff.
There's part of the diorama. That's one building that'll go into it eventually. You can see the fire escape there.
That's cool.
Get really in, but yeah, ways to go. But yeah, I got to get Photoshop or something like that to get them size correct. I need NY or LCPD decals for GTA 4 is what I'm going for.
Or just have London make them for you. He's already got it.
Maybe. I'm going to talk to him after about that.
Yeah, I just did 5 custom fire trucks for a guy a couple weeks ago. I haven't shipped them out. I'll grab one real quick. But
do you have a gold printer? Or sorry, will it print gold, I should say, on your printer? Oh,
What was his left building?
Like gold and chrome is what you're talking about, like actual gold?
Some printers can't print gold, yeah, because I'm looking for like a chrome leaf on a fire truck I need to.
So I did these a while back. These are Deptford Fire Department. And here's an SUV, for example.
Ooh. RPS?
Yeah. RPS. But yeah, I can do a lot of stuff. It's hard to gold leaf and that kind of stuff gets challenging because, printing with white and all that. But
it might have been John who was doing gold, just the lines, but I could be wrong. Anyways, I'll be back. I'm gonna go grab the card to show you guys. I mean, you can talk about whatever, but I'll be back in a second.
Cool.
Everybody left.
Those GTA 4 you or have seen it, you realize that that's the car from the game, the police car. It's got different rear lights and the front grille, which is the game was trying to, of course, with any game, you'll try to get away without paying the licenses. It's got the later It's got the main Ford bubble body for that year. 92 to 97 Crown Victoria body. 2000. Yeah, 97 plus front grille. So it's a mismatch, but I did that. I cut them all up, but it looks nice. You know, it's okay.
wow.
Needs the decals.
Tom, aren't you the guy who did the crashed Crown Victoria? Or,
Yeah, you want me to grab that too or not?
yeah. Yeah, I'd like to see.
Will
that.
do.
That thing is so detailed, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I remember seeing it a while ago.
That's why it's okay for him to only build so many a year, because he puts, I like to say way too much detail, but it's just enough.
Yeah, pretty detailed.
Yeah, I've been wanting to start
Yeah, it's
doing
kinda
more of
hard
that
to
kind of
see,
stuff,
but-
like crashes and stuff. But it gets pretty challenging to make it look right.
Yeah, I did the Mike Buddy technique where I took the aluminum foil, sized it correctly, and then crumpled it. But you can't see, but I detailed the whole engine block. I made the whole engine block.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of like, why did I put this much effort into it? But still, I love it.
Yeah, that's super cool.
And you can't see because if I tilt it, it's going to fall off. But all the interiors, actually, you can see, have door panels. I made the door panels for all the interiors and the B column. I did the B column too.
How much of that is
And this was
aluminum
all
foil?
before it owned a Crown Victoria. I had to do all this. Yeah, sorry they can't really give you a better view of it from here, but oh, you guys are all paused. Uh-oh. Say hi if you can hear me.
Oh,
I
I
can
hear
hear
you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. It was paused for a second.
Okay. Did you see me showing it around or not?
A little bit. Yeah. How much is that? You said it was aluminum foil. How much of it? Just a front clip?
Yeah, the front clip and the driver's side door.
Wow. Yeah, that's
But
pretty
yeah.
cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You say you don't know
Later.
why you put that much detail in it, because it's the coolest wrecked Crown Vic anywhere in that
Yeah.
scale.
Thank
That's
you.
why.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This camera's not great. Then again, this is my mom's phone because my phone, the camera is completely broken. So, yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, doesn't that have broken glass in the interior from the windshield?
Yeah, the front is shattered. Well, you can't really see it, but it's supposedly shattered. It's just X-Acto knife marks on a lot of them. And then there's a beer bottle in there that I got from Louis, who bought it 3D printed.
Oh, wow.
So that's how you know it wrecked. What caused it? And then the airbags deployed. I'm sorry, I'm not going to show it up there again. I just don't want to drop it. But there's a lot of detail. The tires punctured. I have all the little bits that go on like an accident scene, like the other tire that came off. I don't want to have to go back and get the little box and open it up and show each individual piece. But yeah, I put a little bit of time into that.
Good job on that one.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
A little bit of time. I'd say you put a lot of bit of time.
Probably a
For sure.
year.
Wow.
I don't have anything anywhere that I've built for a year.
You get worn
A lot
out,
of
I'll tell you that.
I have a lot of stuff that I started years ago and haven't finished yet.
Yeah.
That's I think
I also
all of
haven't
us.
worked on it.
That's most people, I believe. I've said it in a lot of the podcasts. It's a feeling and it's a time that you're in with that feeling. So you could start something and have all the intentions and the feeling and everything's great, and then something goes wrong or you start seeing something else, and then all of a sudden you're like, I can't. If I keep going, I'm losing more and more interest in it as the further I go. So I better stop and wait till I get the feeling back to want to do it again.
I'm not sure. I was explaining the setup to my room earlier, but you can't. I'm not sure if you can see the drawers to either side of here. I'm just gonna turn this, and you got see this big drawer. Like half of this top part is all like models that have built, but have never ever completed. Like here is a Jeep that have never completed. Here's the frame to a ambulance that have never completed, which I pulled out because we were talking about buses, and ambulances are called a bus in the emergency medical services. And that was from, remember a long time ago, Sam, when we built those F-series for the contest?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was something that was building, but I never got to complete. It's horrible. It's like looking at something I built and it was only 5 years ago? But
Maybe.
the record that I built was the good stuff. This is the bad stuff. Not everything that turned out is grade A. But
I
I've
could
got
do
my
something
unfinished
with that.
projects.
If you don't end up doing anything with that, I can do something with that.
I'll let you know if I never build it. But who knows?
That's cool. Yeah, that record that you made probably, I mean, in my opinion, I'm not a commercial vehicle kind of guy, but that's probably the most detailed record that I've seen.
Thank you. I do appreciate that.
And for anybody that doesn't know, it's got like these two booms. They're called, what are they? Booms? I don't know what they're called. Two arms.
Yeah.
That come out, and you can lift up a car or roll a car from either side or at the same time. That thing's amazing.
I'm not going to grab that, but I'm going to go put these back. But actually, I'll bring you with me so you can see the tow trucks.
Oh.
Look at me, ugly face. Woo! Look at all this acne. Horrible. But I'll get to that eventually. That'll be my next project. It's gonna take me a minute. I'm turning this off so when I drop the stuff on the floor and breaks, you guys don't see it. All right, let me see if I can turn this camera around. There we go. Now I need to light it up too. There's the orange wrecker.
Oh, wow.
And then there's the cream wrecker in back. And these are all of my custom models that I built. Here's the bus that I built. Mike Buddy had the idea for that. I'm like, oh my God, that would look beautiful. So I built that. Yeah, those are the two Crown Vics I showed you. It's a fire truck I built. These are all the custom models that I've built that are nice looking. It's a Crown Victoria. It's my Gasser Jeep, little dune buggy, the Liberator bike, my fire truck, not the bus. And then I built one Roadster in back, and then that's Sam's right there. That's sweet. Look at that. That's awesome. Sam, remember that?
I do. It's the only Jeep I ever built.
Those are all the customs that I've built that are really cool. Sadly, I don't really build too much, except for this crane, which is awesome. But you've never seen this in the US because they don't exist in the US. But that took forever to build. That took forever to rig. Let me tell you, rigging a crane.
Oh, wow.
Man. And it's all, in theory, prototypically correct where I rigged it, but I honestly have no clue. I built it to work, but it doesn't work because it's just, I don't want to break it. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's that, and that is all that I've built that's custom, which is not much, but hey, I like it.
At least you customize cars. I've said it in numerous podcasts, interviews. There are two type of people in this hobby. There's collectors and then there's builders. And even if you built one or you built 100, you're a builder, You don't just collect the cars because you like it and it goes on a shelf or in a box and it gets tucked away and you want every single version of it. You actually make your own version. You create your own style. And that's the neat thing about a model builder compared to a collector. So you make your own thing.
You forgot a hoarder. I'm a hoarder.
That's same thing as a collector. I mean, you have your different levels of collecting. I think in some ways we're all hoarders because I've got tons of, well, I can't say tons. I've got probably 50 of the Hot Wheels 187 cars. And anytime I see them for cheap, I buy them. Even though I already have the model, you already have every version of it, I still keep buying them. And I don't know why. It's just a disease. Like I want all of them.
Right.
My
But that's-
bad, my internet went out.
Well, you're still here. We hear you.
Good.
But it's like anything. I mean, you look at this hobby and a lot of cars are pretty cheap and inexpensive, but they're cheap cars to begin with. And then some cars are really expensive. And some people have the money to keep buying those expensive cars, and other people have the money to only buy the cheap cars. But we buy them. You know, we keep buying them. Think
Right.
about those Malibu cars that are like $5 cars. How many people have those? Like everybody. They're all the same cars, but everybody has them. Tons of them, probably,
Yep.
because they were so cheap. You don't need
Yep.
them, but you have them. I remember I bought a lot. I bought 2 lots. They were like $75 to $100 a lot, and they came with, I think, 50 cars each. And I bought all modern cars, BMWs.
Yep.
These ones? Yeah, I only have like 3 of them, but
Yeah, well, that company, I've got all the modern cars because I figured if I'm going to have a car show scene, you have to have people driving in modern cars parking at a parking lot that go to the car show. So you need a parking lot full of modern cars, plus a parking lot full of the custom hot rods and lowriders or whatever. So I bought a whole bunch of the same cars, and I don't need any of them. I don't have plans for any of them except for to build 2 parking lots, one for modern cars and one for classics. But I mean, if I ever build that stupid parking lot, I have dreams of doing one day.
We need it.
oh yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I probably have 100 of those modern cars that I have no use for right now, and they're just sitting doing nothing. So, you know, we're all hoarders in one way or another, even if it's a little hoard to a big hoard.
That's the nice thing about those the Rico cars and the River Point station trucks and SUVs are the modern. I would like to see a modern like 2000 to 2020 maybe, even though that's kind of pushing it. Just vehicles like maybe like a 2004 Ford Escape, you know, something plain and generic, maybe like a Ford Ranger.
Mad about
you know,
cars.
they're not made anymore, but
Shapeway. He's the only one designing that stuff.
they are. But like mass production, like Rico and River Point Station,
Right.
that would be nice because they're already painted. Like your machine that you want that takes it, that paints it, and does that.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like Mad About Cars. I've never ordered 3 yet because I'm scared of the grain. I'm not sure what it'll be like. I've never ordered, and I'm kind of scared it'll be rough. Because I got some 3D printed stuff from somebody else, and it was full of grain. And I'm like, what if I order it? I pay the $30-$40 they want, and it's like unusable. That's just what I'm scared of.
It'll be
Eventually I'll get
usable.
over that. But
It'll be
Yeah.
usable. It just won't look perfect, but it'll be usable. You
But,
throw
like-
enough paint on it, it'll cover up most of those lines.
the River Point stations are $20, and then the Ricos are surprisingly they've gone down to $10 each. But I mean, for an already painted car for $10, I mean that's a steal. You know what I mean?
And rolls. Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't just sit there, but it rolls too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely the difference in cars. I mean, you get those I'm already forgetting the names, but you get those more expensive cars that are like $30 to $40 that come with like photo etch parts on it or whatever.
Oh, the Neos and the
The Neos and stuff, and they're great cars. They roll too, but they're so pricey and they're so beautiful. It's like you don't even want to touch them.
I couldn't
Just
tell
leave
you if
them in
they
the
roll.
box.
I don't take them out of the package.
Oh, I've done it. Who was it? Somebody I met at the RPM meet last year. I hooked up with him and I said, oh, it was Matt Gillian or something. Matt. I said, dude, I want this car. I don't want to buy it, but I will custom build you something if you get me this car. And so we made this trade, and he gave me this like a 49 Cadillac or something. Photo etch parts everywhere. Paint is perfect. I took it straight out of the box. I drilled out the wheel wells, and the whole car's resin. So drilling out the wheel wells wasn't that bad of a deal. And then I dropped the car to the ground, and I didn't do nothing else to it. I put it back in the box and left it as a display piece. But I knew I wanted to customize this car. It makes for a perfect lead sled. And it, in my opinion, looks way better laying on the ground than it does stock height. So I had to just drop it, make it look like it was right on airbags or something.
I know they make like 1970s Cadillacs in that scale.
Yeah.
In our scale, I should say.
Those are
And I've
perfect for
considered
pit
buying
mobiles.
one, ripping off the back of it and trying to make like an ambulance top, but that's so much scratch building. It's a shame nobody makes a good 70s style ambulance. I mean, yours is what, 60s, the Ghostbusters?
59, but yeah,
59.
close enough.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Sam, I'm not the expert.
I said close enough. Close enough to 60s.
But
Nah,
that
I
would be
gotta
so
take
cool
off.
if someone made that. Have a nice night, man.
All right, Theodore,
yeah.
thanks for joining
Y'all
in,
take
man.
care. It was
See ya.
fun. All
Thank
right.
you.
Have a good one.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like you can definitely get cars that are ready to roll and already painted and stuff. But depending on the kind of car that is, you're still putting a lot of work on it if you want to make it your own or make it more realistic, obviously. Or you can just settle for the way it came and be happy with how it is and be more of a collector and because there's plenty of people that'll buy a car, take it out of the box, take it out of the package, and set it on their layout or whatever, and they're completely happy with it because of the way it looks. Then there's others, like most of us, I would think, that see something and go, "Oh, it's got to be repainted, better tires, detailed interior, whatever. I need to slap an engine in this."
Right. I'm
Those
about
are the
50-50 on that.
Yeah, I mean, me too. Like there are some cars that I just say, looks pretty good this way. And then most cars I see the potential to do way better things with. But like that Neo one, all I wanted to do was drop it. I don't care for the color. It's like a brown. I would have loved to like paint it black, but I didn't want to ruin that car. I figured I wouldn't have done it justice if I did it myself. So I just leave it the color it came and
Caprice?
lower it. No, it was that 41 Cadillac, or yeah, the 41 Cadillac from Neo.
Gotcha.
I mean, I can get it. I'll show you what I did. It's so
Sure.
subtle though, like you may not even know.
Go for it.
So let me move my camera so I can see what I'm doing. This is the Neo one, and I don't really like that color. The brown. I mean, it's a stock color, sure, but I don't like it. I would have liked it to be like jet black. And all I did was just slam it on the ground. So I just had to drill out the wheel wells.
That looks
and,
nice.
Yeah, then put everything back together. But I mean, I could have easily like ruined it all. I could have lost the photo etch because the whole window frame and front window pillars and down at the bottom, there's that metal looking rocker panel. That's all
Yeah.
photo etch. Even the center of the hood, that center hood line, it's photo etch. And I thought I could take it apart to repaint it all, but if I lose any of it, then I'm buying like another $40 kit to replace it with.
Right.
And I didn't want to do any of that. So,
Or make
but
a
that
rat
was
ride
that
of it.
one. Yeah. And then there's this one, what's this company? Best in Show. They make this 57 Cadillac. And all I did was lower that one too. But it's a resin body as well. So I just dropped it down to the ground and gave it an attitude, but the color was decent.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes in a custom world, just giving it a slight touch does so much. And even though I didn't do nothing to the bodies or whatever, I just lowered them, it gives it that that attitude.
Right.
That's what I'm all about, is attitude. But yeah, I don't know. This has been going on for 2 hours. You guys got anything else you want to talk about?
I don't. I can't think of anything else.
Well, your modules are looking really good,
Yeah.
Joseph. Really
I'm
good.
still gonna add some signs and some more trees and whatnot to it, but it'll come along slowly but surely.
Yeah. Well, you have, like you were saying earlier, all working lights, right? For like all the interiors on the street and whatnot.
Yep.
That right there makes such a big difference in a display, a model, a diorama. It brings life to it. You could have easily just put the buildings on there, glued them down, and called it a day. But you
Yeah.
gave it life, So that's
Yeah, it
neat.
makes a huge difference to me when you put a model on there and you look at it and you're like, oh, instead of having the background of a sheetrock wall or whatever, you have a building to make it come to life.
Right. Well, that was the thing. I saw Junior Burke, which I mentioned before. He did a Mills Diner, 187 scale Mills Diner. He did a full diorama of just that diner. And he added a Bluetooth speaker system in there that played all these 50s and 60s music to go along with the movie. And he had all the cars parked out front. And he had interior lights. What he didn't have is the light that goes around the building. So I was like, I'm going to build one. I'm going to put that light on there. So I was looking online and I found these, they call it LE wire. So EL wire, like electric lighting wire. I don't know, whatever.
Right.
But you see it in the background there. Well, I'll
Yeah.
move it closer. It's got the blue ring around the whole entire building. And then the interior lights as well. Look, I'll get it closer.
Yeah, I think me seeing your model like that inspired me to buy a kit that is still in the box.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, I did that, and I thought at the time it was probably the best version of it that anybody's done. But then other people shortly after put the blue lights around it. So, is what it is. And then the Munsters house, I put lights in because you got to have lights in the Munsters house.
yeah,
There was a light. There was one light in the Psycho house, but I think that battery's dead. But yeah, the Mills Diner really, really sets it off because there's interior lights and then there's the blue light that goes around the building, which is very 50s style.
Right, the neons.
Yeah. And then you got the street lights. So you gotta have street
Oh,
lights.
Yep. Yeah, it looks good.
And
I
then
can't wait for the next show.
And then you got these wackos driving Christmas light cars all down the road on the wrong side of the road. Weirdos.
Fine.
Yeah, next year's show, hopefully, will be good.
How's your parking garage going? Or your custom
Good
garage?
question, Joseph. Very, very good question. It's sitting in the same place that you saw it last. Actually, I haven't touched it since the last time you saw it. There's a company out in Texas that makes these 4-post lifts and 2-post lifts. I'm waiting for that company to send those out. Yeah. That honestly, I need the motivation. I don't have the motivation to keep going on that. I don't know why. It's been a dream of mine to build this massive headquarters to do that, and I did. And then halfway in, I don't know what happened. Maybe it didn't come out the way I wanted. I really don't know. I mean, it came out exactly the way I wanted. The building is exactly the same way that I saw it when. So the building idea is from the computer version, the PC version of Grand Theft Auto. There's a bunch of people that on the PC computer version can add things into the game that the company doesn't design. And because it's a computer, they have the knowledge on how to make their own stuff, design their own buildings and their own cars. They put real cars in the game, unlike the actual video game where it has these mishmash of cars because the company doesn't have the licenses to the real cars. So these people digitally put stuff in the game, and that shop that I was making was in the game, in the computer version. And this guy made a YouTube video of it. And I was like, holy crap, this is my dream garage right here. It's got the showroom, it's got the offices, it's got the work in the back, and it's got all this stuff. And I want to make my own version of it. So I've always had the idea, and then I finally get to it. I get halfway into it and I lose the interest. I don't understand how that happened.
It'll come back.
Oh, it will. Like I said, there's a company in Texas that makes these lifts. But yeah, I mean, I'll get the interest. It'll get done. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But eventually that'll be done, and I'll build more modules, because what I plan on doing is I have that garage, the ultimate garage, and then I'm gonna have a huge parking lot, like a 4x2 parking lot that completely fills up the whole entire board for the car show parking lot scene right next to the shop. So it's like if
Right.
you went to like my shop was hosting the car show, in other
Right.
words. So that's the ultimate idea, if and when I ever get to finishing that shop. And then if I ever get to building that parking lot, I think the parking lot would be a lot easier.
Yeah,
But
that should be really easy.
right. But the problem is I want to put like these what are they called, like not center dividers, but like the dividers that separate parking lot to parking lot, that are like full of grass and trees, and then there's
Yeah.
parking lot on this side and then grass and trees and whatever. And then I
Right.
want to put lights all through it too. So if you do night shots, you can do nighttime car cruises or whatever, because they have
Right.
those out here all over the country. They have night cruises that like start at like 5 or something and go on till like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So that would be perfect for a nighttime car cruise, photo walk
Yeah.
kind of deal.
Right down the street from my house, and every time I've seen it, I haven't stopped, but they have some lowriders in the area.
How dare
And
you?
there's usually about 15 or 20 of them. But every time I've seen them, I had something going on. I couldn't stop to chit
Well, here's
chat or
what's
whatever.
funny.
But
So the lowrider scene started in Southern California, and then it ventured over to Arizona, and it didn't really go that much further. Like there were little tiny clubs here and there throughout the rest of the country, but it was mostly a Southern California thing. And then sometime in the early 2000s, super early, like say maybe 2000 or 2001, the Japanese culture jumped on this lowrider thing we were doing out here, and we're buying all these cars to build lowriders out there. They have a huge lowrider scene out there now in Japan. And
Right.
then it seemed like with them getting into it, that allowed other states to say, hey, we could have lowriders too, because there's a huge lowrider following in Colorado, and there's, I think the second largest in the country is Texas right now for lowriders. Maybe not in every city, but in certain cities there's a lot more than other cities. But yeah, compared to California, I think Texas is the second leader in that culture of cars.
Yeah, I've seen them quite a bit actually. I need to, I've seen them like driving down the street in a big group.
Yeah, that's
But
good
yeah,
because
I
North
need to follow
Carolina
them.
has very little. I mean, our car culture out here is so tiny. The lowrider culture is even tinier.
Right.
It
Oh.
really sucks.
You almost never see them here. I mean, with the car that low, you'd be lucky if it made it through 3 winters.
Well, you have hydraulics, sir. Hydraulics will lift the car up, but yeah, the tires alone. You got these 13-inch tires with these or rims. You got 13-inch rims. The tires, if you get the actual lowrider tire, they call them 520s. I don't know what they signify or stand for, but the tread on the tire is 5 inches. 5-inch tread for a full-size Chevy in any kind of condition weather-wise. That's horrible to drive on just 5 inches of tread.
Right.
And then
The,
if you decide to like do a 3-wheel motion, then that front tire is even more angled and you're driving like on a 1-inch tread, if you're driving on the tread at all. It's
I do
ridiculous.
admit there is one guy who is a low rider in one of the cities around here, but that's like the only one I've seen. It's kind of a shame because they're really neat cars.
They really are. It's definitely a different culture for cars in general. I mean, then you got people that like the donks. You put like a 25-inch or 28-inch rim on a full-size Chevy and jack it to the sky. And then, you got other people that just like traditional classic cars, hot rods, customs or whatever. But the car culture, like Texas. Now, Joseph, you should have seen this because it's all over Texas. There is a culture out there that isn't all the way lowrider, but isn't all the way custom. But they put these rims, these old school spoked rims that stick out like a foot off of the rim with spokes, and they call them swingers. I don't know why they call them that, but they're in my opinion, like donks, one of the dumbest parts of the car culture there is. But some people put like a 1.5 foot bar that have spokes connected to the rim that stick out. It looks like the movie Grease, where that car is trying to destroy the Grease Lightning car in the race at the end of the movie. But they're not meant to do that. They're meant just to be for looks. And it is honestly such a dumb thing. But at the same time, people think 25, 30-inch wheels are dumb on a car, and some people think 13-inch rims on a car are dumb. So it's all up to your taste on what you like. Lowriders is definitely a neat thing, but a lot of people don't like them. But a lot of people do. So it's just up to what you like. I love them, but I mean, not everybody.
Hey, I'd much rather have a lowrider than a truck with a Carolina squat.
And that is another thing I don't understand. What the hell happened to the young culture? Because it's not older people, say over 40, that's doing it. I can almost guarantee it's people under 40 doing it. What happened to their head? Did they get
Sam,
hit?
I
All
couldn't
of them?
tell you. I disassociate from those people.
So, Joseph, you've seen it on Facebook, you've seen it on other social media, and everybody else listening or watching. It's where you take the full-size truck and you dump the back end like it's got the heaviest load possible, and it looks like it's dragging ass.
Yeah, I've seen them.
I've seen them around. Dumbest truck craze in the world.
Yeah.
Right now. Now, all the young people that are watching or listening, which is probably none, good. Why? That's just the question is why. And there's no good answer you're going to give me that's going to make me understand it. So just don't even answer it. Now, I will say in the lowrider side of the culture, they do that. They'll lift the front end with hydraulics or air ride system airbags, and they'll dump the back end. But the reason is they put these scrape plates on the back of the frame. So the car doesn't go all the way down on the frame. It'll hit the scrape plate and it'll literally sparks behind the car to make it look like it's dragging the frame down. And that's they do that for the look. That's all they're doing it for. They're not doing it because, and they don't keep it that way. Like the trucks, you lower that back end, it's stuck that way until you decide to put the springs or the shocks back in it or whatever. But in a lowrider world, they just hit the switch and it lifts the back end of that car right back up. So it's real easy to fix that problem. But yeah, it's super crazy. But that's what's neat about this car culture that we're all in, is there's something out there for everybody. Like you, Joseph, you seem to be like in that 80s, 90s time frame for vehicles.
Yep.
And I do know in the 1-1 car culture, that look, that style of cars, they're coming back like crazy. People are trying to get all these Japanese cars and retuning them and putting brand new engines in them and doing all kinds of stuff with them nowadays. It's crazy to
It
think
sure
that
is, yeah.
80s and 90s are coming back into style.
They're classics now.
They are classics according to the DMV. Which is
There's
crazy.
a
Think
lot-
about this for anybody listening or watching. The DMV considers a classic car to be 25 years or older in most states. A vintage car is 30 years old. So a 1990 whatever is a vintage car, and a 95 is a classic car.
Wow.
Isn't that insane? Who would have ever thunk?
True. It's crazy.
So in another 5 years, a 2000 will be a classic car. A 2000.
Wow.
We're either getting old or the world's getting stupid. Or maybe it's both.
Right.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
huge thing around here for some reason is the camber wheels, like really, like I mean, like cambered out, like rim almost touching the ground, or it's
Yeah.
crazy around here. That, and they have these
The
there's this
wheels sit like
club.
this.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
It's so that's more of a Japanese thing that the people out here are trying to take over, trying to have that Japanese look. That's also a dumb look, but hey, people
yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I don't understand that. But the other weird thing is those same guys, they have these custom exhausts that are, I believe, 15 foot out of the back of their vehicles, held up
Oh.
by like wires.
Yeah, the
Bozozoku?
Japanese look. That's the
Yeah.
Japanese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
Well, that's the thing with going along with Joseph's time period that he likes. Those are the cars they're doing it with. Is
Yeah.
80s and 90s. They're Japanese are taking this hobby and twisting it and turning it into their own version. I mean, they're doing a great job for that look. And there's plenty of people that like that look. I don't understand none of it, but I mean, there's a culture out there that love it.
I like it because it's just hilarious. It's just great. I mean,
Yeah.
It
I'm
looks
not
like
sure
a
why I
cartoon.
like that, but I don't like the Carolina squat. Carolina squat, I'm not sure.
It's a
I
dumb.
think-
It's a dumb look. That's why you don't like it.
I think
It's
people
dumb.
who do the Bozozoku realize the irony in it, but I'm not quite sure. I mean, yeah, it's just cool.
yeah, because that takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of ingenuity to get that car to do that, to look that, and to drive like that. The Carolina thing, it takes somebody got hit over the head with a bat to say, "Oh, I need to drag the back end of my truck that's way too high off the ground as it is, and it'll never drag." It really doesn't make any sense. None.
Yeah.
If you had air ride system and you could raise the back end of that truck back up, that would make sense. Like you're doing it for a parade or a show, you're going to lower the back end just for the look and then raise it back up to be, normal. That I could understand that because that's what lowriders do, and people with air ride systems, they just lower the car and the truck up and down anyways. But to leave it that way and to like purposely put it at a slant, it's just dumb. But
Yeah.
that's me. I'm an older person. I'm 40. I don't get it. But what do I know, right? I don't know nothing. Any young kid that has their truck like that, they'll be like, you just don't get it. You're darn right about that.
Right.
So I think the only thing we don't know about Rob here, Rob, what time period do you particularly like in your vehicles and your trains?
I'm an old guy, really old guy. I like the muscle cars, the 70s, 60s, and 70s. My first car was a 60 Chevy.
Nice.
Yeah. My mom made me get rid of it because she said it looked ugly in her driveway.
How dare her?
Yeah, I wish I had it, but I paid $100 for it from one of my brother's buddies, and oh well. I had to get a 68 Chevelle instead, so I guess it compensated.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's my being from Reading, Pennsylvania, the home of the Reading Railroad. That's always been my favorite railroad, which of course went out of business with Conrail in '76. So I kind of have a cutoff time for my layout stuff of 1974. So the cars come up to that point or drop back from there. So it's a lot of muscle cars. When Classic Car Works came out with the Chevelle, the 70 Chevelles and that stuff, I got just about every color. So that's where I'm at. Like I say, the stock cars. I was into drag racing when I was a pit crew for a drag team, and gopher is what I was. Go for this tool, go for that tool, because I was only 13 years old. But
Wow.
watching them.
That's cool.
Yeah, and one of the guys actually was a top dog eliminator at the Summer Nationals, so it was a pretty good crew. Started driving for Grumpy Jenkins, which is one of the local heroes around here in the drag race world, but along with Jungle Jim Lieberman and Bruce Larson. So that was just kind of where I was at, watching the funny cars, the early funny cars that actually still looked like cars instead of just plastic whatevers. So that's the era I hang out in.
That's cool. That's when, like you said, when cars were cars still.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. Yeah, I'd never really been into drag racing or really racing in general. I admire it, but I'd never been into it. Like NASCAR, I've never been a NASCAR fan, but I admire what they do. And
Oh yeah.
if I was a NASCAR driver, that'd be completely different. I'd love to do 200 miles an hour around a track or 500 laps. That would be
Yeah.
awesome. But watching it on TV, just like sports, for me, sports are boring. But if you're playing it, that's something completely different.
Right.
But watching it doesn't do nothing for me. So just like watching motorsports, it doesn't do anything major for me unless I'm actually doing it. That's when I get into it. So,
Yeah,
and
it
you
was
were
a lot
part
of
of
fun
that.
being like I say, I wasn't getting to drive the cars, but it was like it was interesting, going to the drag strip, having stuff
Right.
break, bring it back, fix it, get it back out in the track, stuff like that.
See,
So
I could get down with that. That seems like fun. I mean,
yeah.
even though you're not behind the wheel, you're still part of that pit crew to get that thing back on the track to try to win. That's neat. I've been to an Indy car race in the late 90s, early 2000s at the California Speedway in California. And we had pit crew passes. So we went down to the pits. I wasn't part of any of it. All I could do is watch. So it was so boring to me. I didn't care anything that they were doing. But I was watching them and I thought, God, this would be a great job. You're traveling the country. You're going to all these historic raceways and you're around nothing but car people. Every single race car driver, pit crew, and people in the stands, they're car people. And you're all part of that. But just sitting there watching it with the car people, I was bored.
Yeah, it's funny now because now at this point I'm getting ready to retire, but I look back at a lot of these jobs. I go, I didn't know that was actually a job you could do. That would have been great. Why didn't I do that? But
yeah.
So
well, think about like anything with the car world in general. Like even if you work for like General Motors or whatever, there's the test tracks out in the middle of the deserts that these people get paid to drive cars and
Yeah.
run them through the dirt to make sure they
Exactly.
perform right. How awesome would that be?
Yeah. I just did that for free. Give me the car,
Yeah,
you know?
right, right.
You paying me to do it? Yeah, well,
Right.
that's life. Live and learn.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I worked for dealerships for half my working career, and never as a salesman and never as a mechanic, but everything else. And I remember, at least in California, every city is so close to each other, they're touching each other. They butt up to where there's no gaps in between, like out here on the East Coast. So you go to a different dealership to pick up a car, drop off a car, and you're only going maybe 20 minutes away or less.
Yeah.
Out here, I found out that some people drive through the whole state to drop off that car and pick up another car and drive back, and they'll stay overnight at a hotel or whatever, or they'll drive out of different states to get a certain car, drop in the dealerships to a trade or whatever. And I thought, man, I should have worked at a dealership out here and just drove the cars all over the dang country or something on this side of the country. That would have been cool. I think being a truck driver would be cool, but I've got a wife and kids, and I don't want to leave them for as long as
Yeah,
it would be to do the kind of truck driving I want to do. I want to do cross-country truck driving.
Yeah.
I think that'd be awesome. Be boring, but at the same time, awesome.
Yeah.
Because you're behind the wheel and it's all you. That load gets there, it's all on you. Nobody else. But just like stock car, just like NASCAR, just like car racing, I mean, if you're the car driver, you're the one in the spotlight. If you win, it's because of you and your crew, but you're the one that they look at. If you lose, you're the one that they look at.
Yeah.
All that car stuff, it's all up to you. I think
But
it's
let the tire change or drop a tire changes the whole scope of the race.
right, exactly. That's neat, man. You kind of like Mike Buddy. Mike Buddy, I think, ends his genre at like 78 or something, 77
his
or
stuff is
78.
amazing.
Yeah, well, he's a good guy. He's a really good guy. It would have been cool if he was on here, but I don't know. I did send this out to the whole entire group, so there's only so many people that joined. I don't know. Maybe they're busy.
I just got on Facebook and was going down the list and went, oh, wait a minute. I forgot about this.
Yeah, an open
Flipped it on.
invitation. That's cool. I set it up to let everybody in. I didn't expect a lot of people. In fact, there was more people that showed up and joined that I thought that was going to. So I appreciate everybody that logged in tonight and wanted to do
Stuff
this.
builds. Sometimes it takes, a lot of people do something like this. Well, only, I don't know how many people are on, but 6 people only on here. That's not what I was looking for. But, next time there might be 10, so you just gotta, you gotta keep working it. Other people, catch it and then they go, oh yeah, I know that. Or they say, hey, that was interesting stuff, and it builds. So,
well, what I plan on doing is this live stream was the end of season 1.
Mhm.
So I won't post any more interview videos after this until season 2. Season 2, I'm going to pick up, I think, in February. And for February, I'm going to do a live stream to kick off the new season. So we'll do this again in February, see if maybe we can get more people, maybe less people, who knows? I don't know. And go with that. I'm thinking February 1st will be the live stream, and then I'll post more interview videos then. I'll still have my history of videos pop up whenever I actually decide to record those, but the interview videos, those will pop back up, I think probably February 2nd, whatever Monday that is of the first week of February, that's when it'll drop for the interviews. And the podcast I probably do on a Friday or something, the Friday before. So we'll do this again, definitely, because I think it was a pretty good turnout. I think we got a whole bunch of discussions, done, and I think for the most part, everybody had a pretty good time, hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely.
Well, I'll tell you what, depending on exactly when I started recording this, It's 10:58 on the East Coast, or it's 10:48 on the East Coast. So we've almost gone 3 hours. It's not too bad. I think it's not too bad. So unless anybody else has got anything else to say, we can probably end this. But like I said earlier, I'll have a link in the description of everybody's Facebook page. So if anybody wants to hit up anybody that they watched on this interview, not this interview, this podcast, their Facebook page will be linked in the description when this hits the YouTube channel. I don't know how long it takes for this live stream to go on the actual channel to view it for whenever, but whenever it gets uploaded, I'll edit the description so everybody has everybody's contact information so they can hit you guys up that want to hit you guys up. With that being said, if you guys just want to stay on for like 5 more minutes or something, I'll end this podcast and we'll say our goodbyes. But everybody, thanks for viewing. Thanks for looking in. Thanks for everything for this first season. I really appreciate it. It was more of an experiment than a for sure thing. And you guys made it a for sure thing. So I thank you very much. This was a fun year for podcast wise, for interviewing, getting to know all you guys. Like I just said a little bit ago, I'll start the second season, that Friday of February, and then the first Monday will be the first live or the first interview going up for season 2. With that being said, I also have that Patreon account. If you guys want to go to that and check it out, patreon.com, and just look up Halfass Presents the podcast. And if you choose to donate, cool. If not, don't worry about it. But that'll help me buy some better stuff for this podcasting stuff, because that's what it'll go to. With that being said, we're going to end this podcast, this live stream. You all have a good night. Thank you for viewing in. Thank you for joining, and thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Let's see how we end this.